Wow, Jason.
Yeah, that was selfish.
Jeez.
Set the screen.
Oh,
Set the
you
screen.
set that screen.
Hey, let's kick it.
Good morning.
Let's kick it.
Let's kick it.
Thanks, Sean.
Hi, Dave. How are you?
Great. How are you?
You know, I'm great.
I can tell the Kings didn't play. Like, they didn't win. They
Feeling
didn't
better.
lose. You're
Feeling
good.
better.
It's a great.
It was okay.
It's fine.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Well, Can you feel it?
I can feel it. You know why?
Why?
Because we've got to pay attention to how winning organizations are built. It's year 2, and Mike Malone missed the playoffs his first 3 seasons in Denver, and I think we're just realizing what it takes to be a contender. It's a lot different to be the hunted than the hunter, and these guys are adjusting to it right now. This is a learning process, much like Coach Brown said. That was a comment I got on Twitter yesterday, and I don't know, it sunk in with me. I went, okay,
Denver
you know what?
missed it 3 straight years.
Apparently, I don't know.
Why didn't they fire that guy?
He's an idiot.
I want them to go back and fire him.
You know, I clearly logged out. I know for a fact I logged out of Twitter. I think what's going on is it remembers my login, and that is incredibly dangerous here.
Yeah.
Just know that if
I don't think anybody would do anything.
I don't think so either, but I don't know who all has access to this computer.
Well, if we take the usual suspects between Allen and Kevin Whitey Gleason, I think
Emil Fergoso.
Yeah, I mean, but I could see Whitey doing it.
But he would have like something really clever.
Yeah, it
wouldn't be like too. Well, maybe it would be some intent to embarrass, but like you go, well, you got me. That was actually pretty good.
I'm not gonna lie. Like,
Whitey would do it, but Kevin would snitch on the guy.
Very true.
The advent of social media has brought on a lot of new whatevers. We could spend all day talking about that. One of them is I've literally had, like, no joke, I've had nightmares about Twitter where, like, in my nightmare, like, I wake up and I have, like, a ton of mentions I can hear him laughing to. And I have, like, all these mentions. And, in the morning, I go, get my coffee. I'm looking at ESPN.com, our notes for the show, all this stuff. And, then I'll eventually make my way to Twitter. Like, oh, wow, I got, something happened overnight. And I look, and, like, this is a real recurring nightmare I've had. And, like, in fact, I almost don't even want to verbalize it. And, like, all my comments were like, dude, WTF, yeah. What? And then I, like, go, what happened? And I go and I look, and, like, there's, like, 7,000 racial slurs all in a row that are, like, somebody got into my Twitter account. And then it's like, it doesn't matter. But here's the thing that sucks. It doesn't matter if you got hacked. Like, yes, if you got hacked, you're not going to, odds are you would not be canceled for that. But yet, for the rest of your life on social media, there's going to be screenshots of you, air quotes, saying all these horrible things. And that, like, literally sends chills down my spine.
Actually, I think it would be easier to push that away if it's something very, very terrible.
No, you're right.
Like, not like you're normal, but if you give, like, a little bit, like, oh, I think that's what he believes.
Right. Like, you're actually right. If it was just like slur, naked photo, whatever.
Yeah, and then they're like, something was up.
Yeah, but if it's like, I don't know about the Kings this year, and that guy's a blink.
Like, whoa, Dave.
You're like, dude.
So if you ever have Dave's handle.
Yeah, seriously.
On the top 10 of people, like, if your account's left open, where would Chris rank? Like, if he had access to it.
Like, probably in the staff, one.
Yeah.
But because I think he's done it before. Haven't you?
But he knows you so well.
I didn't do it, but Nate Goodyear, when he was with us, he said, hey, Dave's Twitter is up. What should I tweet?
I mean,
and then I said, tweet a smiley face. And then he got very upset about that.
I remember that.
Oh, did you give those up?
That's so jacked up. Did I give up the smiley faces?
We haven't seen one of those in a while.
I haven't had any, that was mostly for relocation stuff. That's when I was plugged in.
But if all of a sudden one of those popped up from you, I'd be like,
yeah, I can't. And that's the thing. It's like with great smiley comes great responsibility. Like, I can't just throw a smiley out.
I was hacked.
Right. Like, it's just all smileys.
Guys, you didn't get me. You got everybody else.
That was Jack. I remember when he did that too, and it's kind of the perfect thing to do if you're trying to friendly hack me. Because yes, I had to.
I'm not happy.
But yeah, that and it's also the other one is because there's like a process where like I'll write a tweet and then I always double check it because I'm also because I am terrified. It doesn't mean I don't make mistakes from time to time, like grammatically or misspell or whatever, but I'm also petrified of autocorrect. And the thing about the algorithm, at least from what I've heard, I don't know if this is true or not. I'm not that smart about it, but oh God, who was the guy years ago? And he said he was trying to tweet nuggets, and he 100% did not tweet nuggets. If you know where I'm going here. And then the whole thing was like, well, autocorrect. But then everybody jumped on him and was like, well, it's not going to autocorrect to that unless you use the word on a regular basis. So I'm like, oh my God. Like, and it's even if you tweet it out and then instantly catch it and erase it, it's out there. Like someone will see it on their timeline until they refresh and they can screenshot. And they're like, you said the thing. No, it autocorrected. So you say that a lot in your text messages there, guy. Yeah. All of that like is haunting. Honest to God, should probably just, if I quit social media, there would be far more upside to that than downside. I know this. If I just got off social media, far more. I've made more people angry at me through social media than before social media. I had no problems with anyone.
Yeah, none.
Well, like barely.
Yeah.
But then like social media came, and then COVID, and then politics, and then the Kings, and now it's like I went on Reddit the other day, and they're like, Dave sucks. I'm like, wow, I don't remember ever having these issues with people.
And you had wrote that,
and it was actually my dad. We've got new chips today.
Yeah, the next batch of 3. I put them all together today.
So it looks like
they're not chips.
Yeah, none of them are chips.
Okay,
crisps. We have what looks like Funyuns or a Funyun adjacent. These almost look like those green beans, but they're not because they're the little mini taquitos. So those are what, Takis?
Could be.
And then we have Elmo's balls. All right, so
you and Chris each have a bag, so I don't know which order you're going to try.
Chris, you want a Funyun first, or
all right?
Okay.
Assuming it's a Funyun. You going with Funyun?
I'm getting like a nacho cheese.
Yeah, it's like I think it's a queso Funyun.
I'm going to give you 100% credit. Spicy queso Funyun.
Spicy queso Funyun.
Yeah, you guys are right there.
It's pretty good. And my conscience is hitting me. I bought a bag of spicy queso Funyuns when I was in Mexico like a year ago, so I got to be honest.
That's all right.
I don't get any credit.
No, you get that.
The Taki? Oh.
And I don't know if it's more challenging because you just had the other one. Oh, you don't like.
Oh.
It's very different. It's almost like a cucumber-y.
No.
I'm going to say like a fresh salsa.
Is that cucumber or is that cilantro? Are they trying to do
it might be cilantro.
What's the green? Is there, am I forgetting? Is there a name for the green salsa?
Verde?
Yeah, salsa verde.
That's what the final answer?
I mean, mine.
Chris?
I'll say fresh salsa.
Guacamole.
What?
It's garbage.
Okay.
I'm going with fresh salsa verde. Elmo's balls. What even is this? Oh, is it like one of those little like Cheeto puffs? I have too much residual salsa verde. Hey everybody. Good radio.
You hate Elmo's balls.
I'm not getting anything.
I'm not getting any. I mean,
it's like
there's
a spice
flavor there. Is it like a paprika or a chili powder or a Aleppo pepper? I don't know. It's not a lemon pepper, but what is it?
It is just it's flaming hot Cheetos. This is the balls.
Oh.
Oh. We're all trying to get all exotic. You're like, it's a Dorito.
Yeah.
I would say of these three.
You guys did not like the Taki unless it was tampered by the queso.
No.
No.
Taki wasn't bad. I'm gonna go with
Funyun?
I think the Funyun.
spicy queso Funyun.
Okay. There you go.
Spicy
Today's
queso
batch.
Funyun. Puppy monkey baby.
3 more tomorrow to wrap up the week
Um,
and to empty the chips out of my house.
yeah, for real. What? I think there's some residuals from the chips yesterday. By the way.
Oh, you didn't have. You had like 2.
Yeah, but
Enough. Okay. Sorry.
sometimes you just you get the special stuff, and you
Yeah.
don't need a ton. How are you? How was your day?
It was good. Yeah. No kings to stress about or enjoy, one way or the other. But they're back today.
That was kind of a light.
It was a
sports
light night.
situation. It was
I
kind
know
of
we're
good.
we're getting to your favorite time. Like football, we've limited the number of games. Now it's the better games. NBA on a nightly basis can carry some stuff, but yeah. But we're getting close to the trade deadline. Those kind of things.
A lot of road games.
A lot of road games
Just
coming up.
just a buttload of road games. On the text line, Dave had the oven cleaning go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean it worked. It
Was it all you, or did you have a assistant?
No, I went home and my wife had re-oven. Oh, it turns out that my wife in the middle of the night undid the oven cleaning process because she was tired of the smoke while I was sleeping. So she restarted it, and the pizza that I spilled in there, it vaporized it all, and I was able to vacuum it out.
Vacuum.
The problem with vacuuming, though, is that my French bulldog, so Gus, the vacuum is like his number one enemy. And I can't figure out, is it because he's scared of it?
A lot of dogs are.
He is like, and like constantly trying to bite. So he's trying to hop up. Yeah. English bulldog. So he's like trying to hop in the oven to bite the vacuum while I'm vacuuming. And then the only way I can get him to stop is I pull the vacuum out, and I have to position it, and he gets close, like barking at it, and then I have to time it to push it forward a little bit, and it goes on his nose, and he is not like that, and he runs away, but then he comes back for more. I got most of it out, but there's I don't know how to describe it.
Where does Nacho go in all this?
Dude, Nacho sucked yesterday because we have a guy working on our bathroom upstairs, and he's been there a bunch. He's a family friend. She knows him, but Nacho has this weird. I don't even know how to describe it, dude. It is this screaming bark that she does. It's not a bark, dude. It's a scream that she does. You're just sitting there doing whatever. I'm playing, like most middle-aged guys. I'm playing virtual reality golf with my kid's headset, and all of a sudden, just like that. And I want to. That's going to anger a lot of people here. What I want to do is drop her in the pool, and as a punishment, she'll swim out.
Yeah.
But my conscience then takes over, and I can't do that. So I just basically find myself literally having a conversation with a Chihuahua. Dude, you know him. He's been here. What are you doing? What is wrong with you, man? And she's just looking at me like all sullen and shaky, like every Chihuahua ever. And then she goes and crawls under some blanket. So anyway.
I actually have the audio of her barking.
Do you?
Yeah.
That is about it, dude. So anyways, there's permanent damage. Not damage, but just black streaks and marks and stuff that are just, I can't.
In the oven
that are just going to be there. Yeah. But you know what? You live and you learn, Jason.
Sure. Yeah. You won't burn another pizza.
I won't accidentally drop another full pizza into my oven ever again because I totally did it on purpose before.
Yeah.
Who are we kidding? There's nothing to learn from.
Yeah. Comment of the day on YouTube. Comment of the day on YouTube.
I don't even have it open yet. I haven't dove in.
Dave, you didn't crust the process.
Oh God. We'll take a break.
Who said that, Chris?
Nate, you know what it was? Yeah, who did say that?
Matthew Henson.
Also, are there any blue wrenches back? I talked to Joe Jarose yesterday. We're trying to get the blue wrenches. What are you laughing at?
But it's just hey, how did these people get these? Why did they get them? Wait, you're taking them away?
I didn't want to. I just wanted to know. I wanted to know who was assigning mods in our chat. That wasn't us. Anyway. anyways. It's a learning lesson.
Yeah.
As Coach Brown said.
Yes.
When we come back, the Kings, a big trade in the NBA, a surprising yet not surprising decision in the NFL. We got Kelly Brothers today. And
what's he talking?
He's going to talk sports business.
Good business.
And then Sam Amick is going to talk NBA business and trade deadline and stuff like that.
I like that.
I like that too. It's always fun to visit with Sam. It's always fun to visit with Kelly. We will take a break. We'll lead it off for y'all next.
The NFL playoffs continue Saturday on Sactown Sports. First, it's the Texans and Ravens at 1:30, followed by the Packers and 49ers at 5:15. The NFL playoffs are right here on Sactown Sports.
It's time to buck up, Sacramento. The professional bull riders are back. PBR Sacramento Wrangler Long Live Cowboys Classic will take over downtown's Golden One Center this February 2nd through 4th. 3 huge nights of edge-of-your-seat bucking, featuring some of the biggest bulls and toughest cowboys on the planet. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.
Stop by any participating Save Mart location for a 20% off ticket discount code when you buy Monster Energy.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
Let's do it.
Leading off, the 3 top stories in the morning.
Huge news. This is very important.
Here's cut number 1.
Sabonis stands with his back to Barnes at the left elbow extended. Keegan Murray right alongside, shoulder to shoulder. Fox is on the deep left wing, and Monk at the top of the circle, awaiting a pass. Everybody waiting to see how this plays out. Fox stumbles. Inbounds pass goes to Monk. He fires for 3. It's no good, and the Phoenix Suns have stunned the Sacramento Kings. Absolute heartbreak. For the second time in 2 days for the Sacramento Kings on this road trip. They lost in OT on a buzzer beater by Damian Lillard on Sunday in Wisconsin. And tonight, a 20-plus point lead in the fourth quarter was not good enough. Over the last 8 minutes.
I never want to, that is not me interrupting the G-Man as disrespect to him. That is just, I feel like that was a sad moment in his life along with ours, and I didn't want to subject anyone to it anymore.
I think he would allow that, actually.
I would hope so. I would hope he'd know that I would never cut off a call of his for anything other than it brings pain back. There you go. That's the last. Now, I don't know. Under semi-normal circumstances from afar, be like, okay, look, Kings are a 6 seed. They're above 500. They're a above average team. They're going to be really angry. The Pacers, Tyrese Haliburton's questionable. They're going to be a couple short. The Siakam, as you said yesterday, won't be ready by tonight. They should come out and just throttle the Pacers. We're at a point right now where, Jason, I have anyone who says they think they know what's going to happen tonight has not been watching. I have no idea.
Yeah, I think I'm really trying to I think we all get guilty, myself included, of, well, it's different than last year. They wouldn't have done this. They wouldn't have won this game last year. Whatever they're doing different than last year.
Yeah.
I feel like this is the most unique season.
I agree with you.
And where some people are lumping it in, well, I think we're feeling this way because of expectations. I even think if we thought they were going to be the 1 seed or 15th, this is a unique year.
Yes.
Because just the record, 23-17, fine, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the course where you go just head-scratching losses. I mean, head-scratching. And even if you're a good team or a bad team, like if this was supposed to be a lottery team, we probably would be enjoying it more, but we'd also be going, man, they actually could probably be about 6 games better. Are they good or not? Like if we had 0 expectations, I think we would be enjoying the ride probably a little more.
Yeah.
But I also think, wait, could this fall apart because they were down by 50 at home and they were they blew a 20-point lead in the fourth quarter. You know, I think we
Lost to
probably
Portland, they
wouldn't be
Charlotte.
as like.
Right.
I think the caveat now is, well, they're still going to make the playoffs, but how dangerous are they? Well, it's really a weird year.
I don't ever remember a year like this. If you're in, it's like we talked about the Sixth Sense yesterday. If you're into twist endings, this is your year. Because if the Kings can lose at home to Charlotte, the Kings can 100% lose to Indiana at home.
Of course.
And the Vegas has them as 7.5 point favorites.
Wow.
Here's the thing. They could win this game. Let me throw this at you, Jason. Which would you be more surprised at, if the Kings won by 24 or the Kings lost by, let's say single digits?
Won by 24.
I agree.
Yeah.
I agree. And they have every business.
Is it weird that I think it would be weirder if they lost by 6 than instead of losing by 24?
It does kind of seem like when they lose, they lose. Yeah. I mean, give them credit for being entertaining.
I guess.
Give them credit for keeping us on their toes.
So entertaining.
Right, exactly. And we have the whole dreaded first game back from a road trip.
Oh, you know what they say.
You know exactly what they say. I don't think they've won a first game back from a road trip since 1994. That might not be correct.
No, it's on here.
Yeah, is it on there?
Yeah.
That is an official stat. Cut number 2, please.
Cut number 2.
Mark Gasol down the floor. Look out! Fred VanVleet threw it up to Pascal Siakam, who scraped the ceiling with his knuckles.
What? That he didn't. That's is
I
that?
don't think that happened. Did I read right that he's the last player on the from the finals team, the championship winning team?
That was from that finals.
Yeah.
I don't remember that play. He hit his.
Wouldn't that be
knuckles
right? Like on the ceiling.
Wow, he jumps high. The Kings should have traded for him then, Dave.
3 first-round picks and a couple of players for Pascal Siakam, who will not be playing tonight, but we'll have to talk about this today. Because does this mess up the
What if he
whole?
played in street clothes?
Like literally didn't put on a uniform, but played like a hoodie.
Yeah. Knowing that he had told a bunch of teams, Sacramento included, allegedly, that he wouldn't resign.
Yeah, and then apparently Adrian Wojnarowski reporting he's eager to resign in Indy. Makes you think, like, why?
Well, I also wonder wonder if the Kings did this same kind of trade. It's like, oh, I'm eager to sign. I don't know. Maybe it would have been no. And if it's a no, the no on the difference between Sacramento and Indy, if that's it, my own personal read with no intel is I think he's going to be more of the man in Indy.
I think so too.
Like he would be a really important piece.
Yes, but he's definitely going to be. Now it's the dynamic duo.
Mm-hmm.
While we're thinking about it, because I was thinking about this the other day, I don't recall, as bad as the Kings have been historically, as bad of a reputation as Sacramento has in NBA circles as it's not LA or Miami. Jason, do you recall any player in Kings history that they wanted to re-sign that didn't? I feel like there has to be, but I can't think of one. I'm talking like any
that got away from them that they tried to re-sign
that was already on the team.
If they were here, yeah, I think their percent of that is pretty high, if not perfect.
No, I think that's I can't think of one, like literally one. I'm not talking about like the guy left because they didn't want to re-sign him.
Right.
I mean, we obviously remember that, the Chris Webbers of the world and, everyone else re-ups Sabonis and Fox most recently. But the point is that I remember when the report came out that Siakam, yes.
I think I got one.
Okay.
I think, but let's go back. You can remember too. Bonzi? Is that factual?
Wasn't Bonzi the one that screwed the contract up?
I think so. So I could be wrong, but that's the name that's coming up.
I
think they wanted him, but then I think his agent thought he was going to get like.
And there was something with a fax machine or something that cost him like $11 million. I don't know why.
That's the only one that's coming off the top of my head, and I could be wrong there.
Hold on. Here we go. When he turned down a deal, Jason Ross, when he turned down a deal from his then team, the Sacramento Kings.
Okay, but we're talking about one.
We're talking about one. No, but there's a
despite rumors like Rudy Gay won't, Chris Webber won't,
but they
did.
So I was wondering when the report came out about Siakam, and I was like, do we just take the chance knowing that like he's going to resign?
Yeah, actually, last week when we talked to Sam, that was that was kind of one of the talking points, and I said, Sam, it's kind of intriguing. Like if you really like him, I almost think if you're the Kings and you think he's that difference maker, you might have to take that. It might be worth taking that risk.
Yeah, it's a big risk.
Yeah, but knowing that, kind of to your point, that your success rate, get him here, get to the culture, the style of play. It's like, you know what? I'll stay here. But
Kings offered a 5-year, $38.5 million contract. And at the time, they had won in 7 straight years, made the playoffs in 7 straight years. And Wells banked on the hope he'd attract an even more lucrative offer on the free agent market. He ends up signing a 1-year deal worth $2 million. And played 28 total games for the Rockets. Instead of the $38.5 million he could have had with the Kings, he made about $4.5 million over his final 2 years, costing him approximately $34 million that I'll bet he wished he had right now.
I've made some mistakes, but nothing that large.
Here's the lesson. If the Sacramento Kings want to re-sign you, re-sign, or it will cost you tens of millions of dollars.
Yeah.
So anyways, Pascal Siakam's a coward and wanted to stay in the East. Cut number 3.
Jerry, there was a report that Mike McCarthy needs to do well in the postseason to have a secure spot with his job and all. With what he's done the last 3 years, can you speak to his future and his security with this organization?
Well, I just think that his record speaks for itself. I think what he's done, the fact that we've put ourselves in this position over these last 3 years, I think that does speak for itself. And we've got a lot of football left, in no small part thanks to Mike, thanks to his staff, and thanks to some really outstanding football players around there. So we'll see how each game goes.
Well, they lost the next game.
Look, Mike McCarthy has won, I think I saw it, 36 games in 3 years. That's 12 wins. Yeah, that's really good. As much as it's Jerry Jones, if it was anybody but Jerry Jones, I'd probably be saying, you know what, good on that owner for not making emotional decisions. You're looking at the numbers, like 12 wins a year is pretty damn
successful.
Good. But I'd like to remind everybody of a guy.
Here's a guy
named Doug Collins.
I've heard of him.
When Doug Collins was coaching the Chicago Bulls, he was 50-32 in 87-88. He was 47-35 in 88 and 89. And then he got fired. And a guy named Phil Jackson came in and took the Bulls to the promised land. I truly believe there's something to, not always, but there are situations where coaches can get you to a certain point and you need to bring somebody in to get you over the summit. I'm not saying that's the way it is in Dallas right now, but I'm saying I don't believe Jerry Jones has the ability or vision to recognize whether or not that's the case. And that might be the situation here, or maybe he's being smart.
Yeah.
For once.
Yeah, I mean, McCarthy did it, I guess, in Green Bay over the summit, but this group has, they have a lot of talent, and to come up short in the first round, I honestly thought he wouldn't make it. I didn't think. I figured Bill Belichick was going. That's why I thought Belichick was going there. Yeah,
but certainly he wasn't going to make it.
Right.
You get that. You're undefeated all year at home, and you get boathoused. Boathoused?
Yeah, they got boathoused.
Was that boat raced and housed?
Yeah,
you got boathoused by the Packers.
Boated. What?
Okay.
In their house.
Now we're getting canceled. We'll take a break. When we come back, Kings Pacers tonight. We'll update you on who's in, who's out. And, the question everybody wants to know the answer to, who won the trade? We'll get to that. We have decided it. We'll let you know next.
Harrison Barnes plays here.
Harrison Barnes drives it, hammers it. The Black Falcon soaring into the night sky on a Monday evening in Northern California.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by AutoAccident.com.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Thursday. We are looking at a cool start with some patchy areas of fog into the afternoon. Expect to see mostly cloudy skies today, a dry day. Highs in the upper 50s to low 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
When accidents turn life upside down, AutoAccident.com is in your corner. compassionate advice, loyal support, and the courage to fight for you. AutoAccident.com. That's AutoAccident.com.
Have you ever envisioned having $500,000 in advertising to conquer the remodel market, but felt overwhelmed at the thought of going it alone? Now you don't have to. Join Subcontractors United and share your advertising with 2 other contractors in your trade. Get $500,000 in advertising for only $1,042 a month. We are so sure this will work that we're giving away free advertising until June 2024 to qualified contractors. Visit subcontractorsunited.com today.
The 2024 Honda Civic LX sedan from Elk Grove Honda offers all the safety, reliability, performance, and great gas mileage you've come to expect from Honda for all these years. With anti-lock brakes, tire pressure monitoring system, backup camera, and Honda safety sensing package including collision mitigation braking system, you can see why a sporty, redesigned Civic from Elk Grove Honda gives you a lot for your money. We're Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain, very intense, can make your eyes water. It makes you walk funny because you're trying to get pressure off your heel. I had instability. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And I was driving past the Good Feet store. I mean, why not? Give it a try.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure they fitted me with the right thing. And so they brought out several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet, just when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville. Beachhead Deli on 711 K Street is now your place to go in downtown Sacramento prior to all the games, concerts, and events. Conveniently located just across the street from the arena, Beachhead Deli features the finest gourmet sandwiches and craft beverages anywhere. Beachhead Deli at 711 K Street is also your premier lunch destination 7 days a week. Come by and say hi to new owner Brad Wakai. He's so excited to take care of all your taste bud needs. That's Beachhead Deli at 711 K Street in Sacramento.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Well, it's a new year, so the big question is what's happening at Hoblet for Chrysler's Start Something New sales event?
Sadly, the end of an era is here. Dodge has stopped making the classic gas-powered Charger and Challenger, so this is your last chance to get your hands on some American muscle with that iconic V8 power. And now is the best time to buy because you can get up to $7,000 off MSRP and 0% financing for 72 months on new 2023 Dodge Charger SXT and Challenger GT.
Yeah, that's one of those things you hope they wouldn't do. Truly is the end of an era.
Yeah. And that means when they're gone, they're gone.
See their full selection when you search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
7,000 total net savings after 6,500 dealer discount and 500 factor rebate. Includes 500 first responder cash. Must be member of qualifying first responder program. Plus 0% financing for 72 months on approved credit through Chrysler Capital. 700 plus FICO score required. $1,389 per thousand borrowed and no payments for 90 days. 5 at this net savings. Sample VIN 648404.
Capital Casino conveniently located on 411 North 16th Street Street in downtown Sacramento.
I even made a snarky comment towards him, which usually brings him out. I do very much love MC in our chat. I like going back and forth with him, but when he is not there, I worry. So pop in and say hi, MC, if you will. But just so I know you're okay. Then you can disappear again. Or, say I'm a paid shill for the man or whatever. Whatever's on your mind today, MC.
Gas grab.
Kings Pacers tonight. I'm not sure where you can listen to it, but I'm pretty sure it's on the radio.
It is Sactown Sports, your home of the Kings.
That's where we were.
That's where we were.
Coincidentally,
Right
good.
Here, right now.
Tyrese Haliburton's questionable.
Yeah, that's a quick recovery. If I know he's working out already, and I'm sure he would love to play.
Don't you kind of get the feeling? I'm not. I'm. You know what? I've upgraded Tyrese Haliburton to probable. I think if he can play, he's going to play. Because correct me if I'm wrong, he has not had the introduction here yet, has he? Didn't he miss the other one too? Like the year he got traded, they'd already played Indiana, I believe.
Was he out last year?
I
thought he was here.
Was he? I thought he was out. I could be wrong.
No, I think he did play. He was getting a lot of love, and Buddy was not, if I remember right.
You're right. You're right.
Like,
you're right. Buddy was getting booed off the floor.
Yeah, wasn't Tyrese here?
And then we had the big conversation about no, I actually think you're 100% right. Poor Buddy. He got then the next day it was like, well, we never boo anyone. And now I wonder, I feel like he's gonna get booed again.
Yeah.
Buddy will. Yeah, I think it's just remember he got caught on video saying what was it, F Sacramento or whatever that was? Or no, it wasn't. Yeah, that's right. That's right. It wasn't F. It was I believe there was a D involved. The letter D. Yeah. So you know what? Boo Buddy. Who cares? Have fun with it. It's all fun. Buddy's fine. Buddy's making cash. Buddy's probably got a beautiful house in the Bahamas in the off season. Hangs out, does his thing. Buddy shouldn't be worried about booze.
Yeah.
Old Buddy.
Kings won that game 137-114.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Tyrese's
they crushed him. And I don't think he was on the bench a lot.
He had 9 points, 4 rebounds, 10 assists, 2 steals.
What did Sabonis have?
Let me find out.
Oh, well, you have the box score out.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah.
Sabonis.
Yeah.
What the? Why is it just? Oh, I see what it's doing to me. Sabonis, 10 rebounds, 7 assists, 31 points.
Oh,
by 31, I mean 11.
So he was 3 away from a triple-double.
Yeah.
Have the Kings lost to the Pacers?
Harrison Barnes had 22 points.
Did he?
5 rebounds, 2 assists.
Wow.
And 2 steals.
Have the Kings lost to the Pacers since the trade? I'm looking.
I believe there last year.
Yeah.
They actually had the comically funny one. I remember you and I were actually at spring training. Do you remember this?
Mm-hmm.
We were in Arizona. It was after the trade. The Kings weren't going to make the playoffs that year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Sabonis even missed the game, if I'm not mistaken. But Tyrese played. Buddy played. It was in Indiana. And Buddy had just
played.
He did play in that one. Buddy had a massive turnover late.
Mm.
And then someone tipped in the game winner. It was someone random.
Well, it was 107-104 February 3rd of last year.
I want to go the year before. I want to say, if I remember right,
This was,
Damian Jones?
so we're talking, so March 23rd of 2022, the Kings won 110-109. Does that sound?
Yeah. Buddy had a big turnover. I feel like someone tipped Trey Lyles, Damian Jones. Maybe it was Trey Lyles.
It might have been.
Who had the game-winning tip-in with, or is there someone else that was on the team?
Let's see. Let me look, Jason. Was that away? Yeah.
Yeah.
So your choices here.
Do you have a play-by-play rundown there? No.
Holiday, Lamb, DiVincenzo. Well, Damian Jones actually had 12 points and 6 boards. I think he might have nailed it with that. Chimezie Metu as well.
No.
22 and 5. What, was everybody out for that game?
Did Lyles play or no?
Lyles played.
I feel like it was Lyles or Jones. I could be.
Interesting. Well, hold on a second. Wait, who do you think it was? I've got the answer. I have the answer. I will give you your choices.
No, you know what? Lyles missed a jumper on the wing. Damian Jones tipped it in.
Let's see if Jason's right. The Kings call a timeout with 14 seconds left.
Did Buddy Hield turn it over before that?
Okay, let's go back to 18.7 seconds left. Davion Mitchell makes a 15-foot jumper. It's 109-108 Kings.
Oh.
Excuse me, Pacers. Right? Yeah, okay. Pacers call a timeout. Dwayne Washington Jr. enters the game. With 14 seconds left. Turnover, Buddy Hield. Kings call a timeout. Now, this is key. Remember when I told you Dwayne Washington entered the game?
Did he go out of the game?
For O'Shea Brissett.
Oh, game changer.
Yeah. 3 seconds left. Now, how did you say the final?
I feel like it was a right angle.
I don't have that info.
3-pointer or long two by Trey Lyles, missed tip in by Damian Jones, but I'm now starting to question.
All right.
Well, good thing we have all of this on archive, so we can actually probably play this.
Oh, you have it? He thinks.
We
It's
should.
109-108. Pacers lead by 1. Kings advance to the front
Wait,
court.
stop it. Stop it. What's your final answer, though?
I'll stick with that.
Okay, so you're saying Lyles miss. You sure?
I know Lyles is involved. Did he tip it in? Or
I feel bad. I don't.
I'm going to stick with it. Lyles 3 or long 2 from the right angle, missed it. And I think Damian Jones came in and tipped it in.
Oh, you're so close. Go ahead.
Pacers lead by 1. Kings advance to the front court. Far side of the floor. Harrison Barnes will put it in play. Trey Lyles at the right elbow. Damian Jones at the left elbow. DiVincenzo, low post left. And Davion Mitchell. The inbounds pass goes to Davion. Will he go one-on-one against Haliburton? Haliburton, the defender, at the top of the arc. Davion drives. Tries to get position. Almost lost it. Double. Feeds it out to Barnes. He drives. He kicks. Trey Lyles for the win. Rattles. No good. Tip. Put back. Jones gets it with 0.2 of a second to go. Damian Jones with a tip back off the miss. And the Kings have a 1-point lead at 110-109.
I don't know who took their final shot.
Well, it doesn't say because it just says that a lot of subs were made, and then it's end of the fourth quarter. It doesn't even. I don't think they got a shot off because there was 0.2 left. It must have been some sort of attempted tip. You nailed it.
Do you get a Jiffy Lube gift card?
I think so. I think you should be able to winterize your vehicle.
Yeah,
good for you. By the way, the Indiana Pacers on the night shot 100% from the free throw line.
Wow.
Yeah, Kings shot 70.6. So same team.
I remember we were watching it in that little place that Airbnb in Arizona.
Was that the Cornhole Olympics?
No,
it
was kind of a random one that there was like a little backyard area off the front door.
That was fun.
Yeah,
it was a good time.
Yeah,
we'll take a break. So, anyways, the Kings won the trade.
Yes.
When we come back, football news. The new coach in Dallas ain't happening. There is a new coach in New England and some disturbing news out of Indianapolis. We're talking football as well. We'll get to that next.
Check out our NFL playoff doubleheader on Sunday. Tampa Bay at Detroit at noon, followed by Houston at Baltimore at 3:30 on your home for Super Bowl 58. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
I was in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean when it happened. There was a sudden jolt and our submarine crashed on the seafloor. We were in total darkness.
That's Dr. Dejana Figueroa, a marine biologist and STEM teacher, talking about a deep sea dive she'll never forget.
It's funny, when I was a kid, I was afraid of the ocean, and there I was 2 miles below the surface. But as a scientist, you prepare for that. Using our training and a little creativity, we fixed the sub and finished our experiments. The dive was just too important. Every dive gives us glimpses at things few people ever get to see. Glowing creatures, fiery undersea volcanoes. When we got back to the surface, I kissed the ground and called my mom, of course. But you know what? I wouldn't trade that dive for anything.
Dr. Figueroa uses her passion for STEM to discover new things and make the world a better place. She can STEM, so can you. Check out She Can STEM for more stories and inspiration. A message from the Ad Council.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
God, I'm so stressed. It's a brand new year and our business is busier than ever. Uma. What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Uma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 35 features.
Uma?
Yep. Switching to Uma is a cinch. Starts at $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Uma.
Now you're feeling it. Visit Uma.com. That's OOMA.com to learn more. Uma. Smart communications for the smarter business.
Nachos! Hey, I'll take some. And some Frank's Red Hot. Nah. You're just gonna eat these boring nachos with no flavor. Frank it up! Frank it up! This guy finally gets it.
It's the perfect blend of flavor and heat. Frank's Red Hot. I put that on everything.
As the world keeps changing, so does COVID-19. That's why this season's COVID-19 shots have been updated. They're designed to help protect against recent variants. Learn more about a COVID-19 vaccine option at schedulecovidvax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Waking you up with the best in local sports.
They just make it interesting, you know?
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross
on Sactown Sports.
14? Welcome back. That was weird.
Yeah. Oh, there it is. It's like, wait.
Right. That was a very long pause. I like it. Welcome back, Dave, Jason. Chris Live behind the glass. All of you listening right now, appreciate you. Appreciate you for joining us. No coaching change in Dallas.
Surprising.
I was surprised too. And by the way, I don't know. Well, of course I don't know if it's the right. It's like I want to rip Jerry Jones for it, but okay.
You know what it's going to be? To me, it's like I feel like people are surprised.
Yeah.
And it's whether it's the right move or not. When it won't be is when they lose next year, whenever that is, right? Unless it's a Super Bowl. Like I feel like that's a Super Bowl or bust for him. 100%. They're giving him another run at it, and they could be the 1 seed. They could win, be undefeated again at home. All that. He's going to have to do something in the postseason, and if they don't, it was like should have got rid of him a year ago. I was like, okay, well, he decided to stick with him.
There was breaking football news about an hour ago, and it just kind of went under the radar. Are you ready for it? Super Bowl news. Reba McEntire.
I'm Reba.
Will be singing the national anthem.
Okay.
Reba will grace the Super Bowl to sing the old national anthem.
Reba and Usher.
Not just Reba and Usher. Because they will also be performing America the Beautiful. Now, if I remember, did Chris Stapleton do the national anthem, or didn't he do America the Beautiful last year?
Who?
Chris Stapleton.
I don't remember. I can't remember.
Okay. Well, singing America the Beautiful this year. My guy. Post Malone.
That's your guy? You and Posty?
I like him. I had to warm up. But then
I need more warming up.
Yeah, I saw there's talent there. He knows how to write a hit. I like good young talent. That sounds weird. Musical.
Oh, okay.
Good young musical talent. Also, where are we here? I want to get this in here too. Come on. Andre Day will perform Lift Every Voice and Sing, also as part of the pregame performances that will air on CBS. So there you go.
Okay.
Jim Irsay was found unresponsive at his home back in December. This is just coming out right now, struggling to breathe before being transported to a hospital by paramedics following a suspected overdose. He was lying in bed, cold to the touch, when emergency personnel reached him on the morning of December 8th. Jim Irsay, of course, the owner of the Indianapolis Colts, Bob Irsay's son. He has had issues before. In fact, they gave him a dose of Narcan, which is used to counter an opioid overdose. He has a real long addiction history. He said to HBO Sports back in November he'd been to rehab at least 15 times. It's really sad. You rehab 15 times.
Yeah.
It just kind of underlines addiction. Like, there are overwhelming odds that Jim Irsay is going to die of an overdose here at some point, and you can see it coming, and you just really honestly hope he gets the opioids are no flipping joke, man. And I guarantee you there's people out in the audience right now who have been affected or who have friends that have been affected by it that are 100% nodding their heads. They're absolutely no joke. So I hope 16, not being funny here, I hope 16, or hopefully he went to rehab after that again.
Yeah.
Is the charm. I really do. All right, we'll take a break. Look, I want to get into this clip Chris brought in here during the break. I'd heard it yesterday. I don't think you'd heard it. It was from a Milwaukee radio show, Maggie Ding Ding and Boodleheimer or whatever, talking about playing the Niners. Maybe going over the top a little bit. I want to play this because I have a question for you. I really did think a lot about this clip yesterday, and Chris happened to bring it in. Great minds think alike. We'll take a break. When we come back, and then we'll get into some basketball as well if we have time, right after this.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less.
Because
it's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Thursday. We are looking at a cool start with some patchy areas of fog. Into the afternoon, expect to see mostly cloudy skies today, a dry day. Highs in the upper 50s to low 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Don't miss out on New Year's savings at Folsom Lake Kia. Low prices and payments on your favorite new Kia models. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia, right here in Sacramento for over 25 years, or FolsomLakeKia.com.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. 2-day GA tickets are on sale now, starting at $85, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPFest.com. Brought to you by Oak Ridge Winery.
The world has changed a lot these last few years. You can do pretty much anything from your home, including order your new Honda from Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Check out our great selection at StocktonHonda.com or come in today and get pre-approved all in the blink of an eye. Stockton Honda makes buying a car simple and stress-free.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
This is Monster Jam. Witness big air, two-wheel skills, backflips, and all-out racing. It's the only place to see the world's best drivers tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks like Gravedigger, El Toro Loco, Megalodon, and more. It's big-time fun for the whole family. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Coming to Golden One Center, January 26th to the 28th. Brought to you by BKT Tires and Great Clips. Visit monsterjam.com today.
Get deals on what you need during MVP's bonus days at Lowe's. Right now, save $20 on select 5-gallon ceiling paint or primer by HGTV Home by Sherwin-Williams. Plus, get 15% off and earn 3 times bonus points when you buy 4 or more Purdy products. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken in time of purchase. See sales associate for details. Bonus points calculated before taxes and fees after applicable discounts at venue. Valid 1/15 through 1/26. Subject to change.
Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Beachhead Deli on 711 K Street is now your place to go in downtown Sacramento prior to all the games, concerts, and events. Conveniently located just across the street from the arena, Beachhead Deli features the finest gourmet sandwiches and craft beverages anywhere. Beachhead Deli at 711 K Street is also your premier lunch destination 7 days a week. Come by and say hi to new owner Brad Wakai. He's so excited to take care of all your taste bud needs. That's Beachhead Deli at 711 K Street in Sacramento.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope, and they're fun. So you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Start learning a new language today. Go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. BEL.com.
Mr. Clean, Mr. Clean.
Of course I use Mr. Clean Magic Eraser to clean tough messes off my stovetop and bathtub. But then I discovered I can also use it to easily clean my patio furniture and even my shoes. I'm hooked.
And when wipes won't cut it, I use Magic Eraser Sheets. They're thin and flexible erasers, perfect for everyday messes, like gunk on my counters and sinks. They really are magical.
The reviews are in. Mr. Clean Magic Eraser and Sheets make cleaning look easy.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
KHTK-AM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Hour number 2, Kelly Brothers Sports Business. 7:27. Sam Amick at 8. Oh, MC's back in the chat.
Hi, MC.
Hi, MC. Well, he explained why he was gone. Unfortunately, we are all a dysfunctional family, I like to think. That's unfortunately something MC and I have in common. His mother, he says, is in chemo on her fifth cancer. So his mom and my mom should go bowling sometime, unfortunately, as my mom is currently laying in a rehab unit by the old Arco Arena as we speak. Those are not fun. Duh. So I get it. And our thoughts with him and with his mom. And like I said, told my mom yesterday, I had a long talk with her. I said, Mom, you got to stop. You can't, you're not allowed to be sick anymore. That I am putting my foot down, Mom. You're not allowed to be sick. No more insulin reactions late at night. No more crashes. No more cancers. We've had enough, Mom.
That's good sunning.
It's really good. You know what? It's like sports. You have to give her a pep talk sometimes. Yes. Like, Mom, enough.
Fire her up.
Enough. You got to want it, Mom.
Yeah.
Okay, honey. I love you. So thoughts and all the good stuff to MC and his mom. Chris, you have that clip as I just callously segue to football. This was on, where was this? What was this?
ESPN Milwaukee.
ESPN Milwaukee. One of those, everyone sits around and circles each other and, yammers and whatever. And this was the hot take of the day.
You guys are going to think I'm crazy.
Well, we already thought that, so go ahead.
A 15-yard penalty, and I don't condone this, but I kind of do in the playoffs. A 15-yard penalty for a late hit on Brock Purdy is not a bad thing, as long as it's worth it. I'm just saying, this is the mindset you go into when it's battle, and it's kind of like the reverse of hockey. What don't they do in hockey in the playoffs, Joshy?
Shave their beards?
That and one other thing.
They don't fight.
They don't fight. They don't fight, right? This is kind of like sometimes a 15-yard penalty is worth it early in the game if you knock the living crap out of the guy. And then he kind of like sticking your helmet in the ribs of Nick Bosa is like, but I'm hearing ghosts.
And obviously, that is getting absolutely dragged publicly. So, that being said, I play devil's advocate here for a second. Is he wrong? I'm not saying is he wrong morally. I'm saying if the Green Bay Packers win the game and somebody goes in and just buries Brock into the ground and he's out, like no one
will impact the game.
Yeah, it will. And let me ask you this, just again. Hold on. Let me because this is sports radio here. Let me just read from my prepared statement. I do not condone anything about what I am saying. I don't agree with it, and I don't think it should happen. I'm playing devil's advocate here to have the conversation. Please don't kill me. All right. What I'm saying is if that happened, if Moose McGillicuddy, linebacker for the the Packers, goes in and just body slams, right? 15-yard penalty. Purdy gets Sam Darnold comes in, 3 picks. Packers win, go on to win the Super Bowl. At the parade, they're like, the ring is shiny, but it's a little faded because of the whole late hit thing. Right. Is that how the Eagles felt last year? No, it's not. And now that wasn't on purpose.
Right. Well, that's the thing. I think there's a line here. I don't know if it's quite the analogy, but people steal signs.
They do.
We got really bothered when the Astros did it with electronics.
That's right.
So same first play of the game, Brock Purdy gets hit in a legal manner where he got rid of the pass, but just crushed. No flag.
Yeah.
And he's out. Sounds different to me than, hey, it's worth it. I don't condone it.
Sure.
15 yards. Like, to me, that's Brock Purdy's thrown the ball. It's in Ayuk's hands. He's 15 yards downfield, and then boom, he gets sideswiped.
Right.
That's dirty.
Absolutely.
Now, that's kind of what I'm reading now. I don't know exactly.
Is any Packer fan going to have a problem if that happens?
A Packer fan? Probably not.
I would say the show, what would their reaction be if the Niners did that to Love?
Oh my God, that's dirty. He should be thrown out of the league. Of course.
Yeah.
And that's what the reaction should be.
Right.
I disagree with the statement. You don't say it out loud.
Yeah.
I hope it doesn't happen. There's no player in the history of the game I hated more than Vontaze Burfict. I'm on record for that, because not because he played hard, not because he hit hard, but because that dude tried to end careers. But I also, as a Niner fan, know what happened last year when Brock Purdy got hurt. And it's kind of like in boxing. Same thing in MMA. It's not spoken about. It's never, I don't know that you could ever find an interview with anyone talking on record about it, but I know for a fact, that there are times perhaps if the fight's not going right, something's off a little bit. Oh, I'm going to kick the guy right in the junk and then apologize profusely. I'm going to get a warning.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Great. I got a warning. He kicked me right in the dingle. Because guess what? Now, the guy I'm fighting.
Yeah.
He's now fighting after really not feeling great.
He's compromised.
He's very compromised. And what did I get? I got a warning from the ref. Okay. Well, that helps feed my family. And sometimes I got to do what I got to do. I'm not saying all fighters do that. I'm not saying most fighters do that. I'm saying it's happened. It's a conscious decision because you're trying to win. You are trying to win at all costs because we are in a win culture and a ring culture. And I hope to God nobody gets injured on Saturday or Sunday in the games. I hate injuries, outlaw them. But I'm saying what those people said, as stupid as it was to say it.
Yeah.
I think they're saying the quiet part out loud.
Yeah.
And I'm saying I don't think.
I just think it's the interpretation of that. To me, it sounds like the dirty hit. But again, if you're any player, Eric Armstead gets a free release and he's on the edge and he sees the center of the back of Jordan Love.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just like he's got a clean look,
right,
as he's turning around and he's rushing him.
Yes.
I think in that point, there's two thoughts from Eric Armstead, like to make him fumble.
Sure.
If I can strip the ball loose, or I hit him so hard. I'm not, necessarily knocking him out of the game, but maybe I'm knocking him out of the game with this hit. And that's all legal.
Sure. And to be fair, or, maybe he's not even thinking about knocking him out of the game, but I want to hit this guy so hard that he's picking grass out of his helmet and he feels it.
Right.
Because you got to get up 30 seconds later and throw a ball or hand the ball off while you've got birdies spinning around your head.
Yeah. This is the cleanest look I'm going to have it getting to him.
Yeah.
So let's make him feel that. And so, again, completely different than what I kind of read as that context. It's like, it doesn't matter, for just cheap shot. And that they didn't use those words,
right?
But it just, that's the feel.
There's a reason why there was Bounty Gate. And what you think the Saints are the only team to ever?
Of course,
come on
not.
now.
Of course not.
That's football. So, well, again,
I love what made that bad was that they paid players.
Yeah,
yeah, that was the problem, right? Aha. Jason, I made a note on here because we're going to switch to basketball in the couple minutes we have. And this is kind of your fault, but I don't think you're going to have a problem with it. So Random note you may or may not have noticed, but the Raptors beat the Heat 121-97 last night. I am now trying to make a commitment to have a resolution to look at all the box scores and try to pick out the ones where it's like the really good team lost by a lot for no, like the Heat had no business losing to, oh, by the way, no Siakam, obviously. So the shorthanded Raptors with no Anunoby, with no Siakam, they traded them all away, and they still go into the 16-25 Toronto Raptors and lose 121-97. And Jimmy Butler played, and he had 16 points. And Bam Adebayo played, and he had 16 points. And Tyler Hero played, and he had 16 points. Okay, that's weird.
What's going on?
I know, right? And Nikola Jovic, he played. He had 10 points. Not that one, the other one.
If you want to get back to the Eastern Conference Finals, you can't lose to teams like this.
Is that Miami's Willoty?
We got to keep finding everybody's Willoty.
We need to have Willoty watch.
Yeah.
Willoty watch.
For every team.
Was there Oh, never mind. I was like, okay, his name was not Willoty Nagata. It was Haloti. But I was like, was there a football player named Willoty? It just popped into my head. The Kings have tonight, Jason, and Atlanta. And then they got a road trip. And then they come back, I think, for 2.
I think it's 2, and then 3 more.
This is a stretch where they are playing 15 road games to 4 home games. What the hell is that all about?
Home cooking the rest of the way.
Right? I mean, when they get done with all of this, they are by far going to have the bulk of their road games out of the way.
Yeah.
They're going to, so here you go. It is set. It's set up for a really pleasurable last stretch of the season, where there is, as you said, a lot of home cooking for this team.
Let's hope so.
That's interesting, though, man. 15 of 19 on the road. We'll take a break. When we come back, 3 for madness. I'll bring up a point that was made to me yesterday about the Kings by somebody on social media. The Siakam trade. Would you have done it? And we are going to announce the winner of the Indianapolis Pacers versus Sacramento Kings trade, Tyrese Haliburton and Domantas Sabonis. I said Indianapolis Pacers. I did that on purpose. We'll take a very quick 1-minute break. We're back with 3 for madness next.
The Kings return home Thursday night to G1C as Domantas Sabonis faces his former team.
What a pass and what placement from Sabonis.
It's the Kings and Pacers Thursday at 7 on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Have you ever envisioned having $500,000 in advertising to conquer the remodel market, but felt overwhelmed at the thought of going it alone? Now you don't have to. Join Subcontractors United and share your advertising with 2 other contractors in your trade. Get $500,000 in advertising for only $1,042 a month. We are so sure this will work that we're giving away free advertising until June 2024 to qualified contractors. Visit subcontractorsunited.com today.
Grab the keys to a new Toyota. Start your year off right with a great lease deal on a new Toyota. Shop a wide selection of cars, trucks, and SUVs from the most reliable brand on the road. Right now, get $1,000 bonus cash when you lease a 2024 Camry. Or when you finance with Toyota, get $1,000 bonus cash on the all-new Grand Highlander gas models. Or $1,500 bonus cash on select 4Runners. Toyota. Let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium-rated credit. Excludes hybrids ends 1/31/24.
3 questions, 3 answers. It's 3 for madness on the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Here's question 1.
Speaking of the chat, Chris is on there. Well, I again love Chris, loyal listener, but he's just such a wiener, dude, sometimes. And let me explain. Here's Chris.
Not me, but you love him.
Chris Guerrero. Yeah. Did you hear about all the people that are dying of hypothermia from going to the Dolphins and Chiefs game? I go, no. So I look it up. Turns out there's a story there. The game was the 4th coldest in NFL history. The fire department confirmed to multiple outlets that 10 patients were admitted to the hospital for weather-related concerns. Let's see. 69 patient contacts and 10 hospitalizations. 7 patients were admitted for hypothermia, 3 for frostbite. 5 additional people were hospitalized for non-weather related issues, which is very serious and is worth reporting. Jason, is that all the people that have died from hypothermia in the game? I feel like there's a little gilding of the lily there.
I did not hear a death.
Yeah, I didn't hear any.
Yeah,
I'm
not that I want
certainly
any of
happy
those.
to
Yeah.
not. Golly.
What did you do to the lily?
You gild the lily. You exaggerated. You gilded it.
Okay.
Yeah. It needed good gilding.
Yeah, it did.
3 for Matt is brought to you by Fire Wings. Christopher Laud, who never gilds the lily. Question 1.
No longer a surprise team. Is being the hunted affecting the Kings?
There was a point brought up to me yesterday that this is part of they're in year 2 of being a contending team, and there is a learning process that goes with that. Use Denver and Michael Malone missing the playoffs in the first couple of years and said, look, and this is a specific response to me asking when Mike Brown said the quote, we're learning some lessons out here. And I had said, what are you learning? And the response was they're learning how to be the hunted and more than the hunter in cases. And that a lot of times when you're building a winning cornerstone franchise, you're going to have growing pains like this. Now, I don't entirely buy that. I don't entirely buy that. I do think there's a serious lack of focus. I do think, as Trey Lyles said, a lot of these losses are self-inflicted. But it did in the Commerce State make me think that I guess we're not going to be able to judge what's right and what's wrong until the end of the season and maybe even next season. If we look back and this team is a second, third round playoff team this year, next year they're full on competing for the title, we're going to have a conversation about, man, remember year 2? But we need to get there first, because right now all I see is a team that loses focus in tight situations.
Yeah, I think like another comp this year would be, let's look at OKC.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're in a spot, Dave, where they've jumped onto the scene, having a fantastic year.
Yeah.
So when they're playing people now, do people not realize they're good? So I think they're hunted.
Right.
I mean, they haven't really had this success before. I think maybe what it could be is an impact on their own team, not being the hunted, but their own expectations. I think last year they went through it going like, yeah, well, we were a playoff team. We were 3 seed. We were pretty good.
Right.
A lot of the 80 or 90% of the roster's back. And I think a lot of games when they get down, they're like, well, we'll win. You don't always do. And sometimes they come back. Sometimes they don't. And it's like, you have to have the same kind of approach that built you to that team that was pretty good last year. And it's good this year, but has had these puzzling losses. I think it's more them than the opponents.
I agree with you. Number 2, please.
Question 2.
Barnes, Mitchell, and 3 firsts. Would you have done that for Siakam?
Now, the caveat here is he's going to re-sign with the Kings. In this scenario, Siakam's going to re-sign with the Kings. I don't think anybody does that if he doesn't. I think that's obvious. So, Jason, they're asking for Harrison Barnes, Davion Mitchell, and 3 first-round draft picks, which, along with the Kevin Huerter thing, I don't know how the math would work out, but the Kings would have 4 first-round draft picks out. But you have Siakam and you add him in. Is that worth it to you?
I would have really thought about it because of, and again, now we're talking about players and people and this. What are you missing out on? You don't play Mitchell.
Right.
A lot of people are frustrated with Barnes.
Yep.
And sometimes I think everybody's guilty of putting too much on draft picks. Now, you can get burned by that, and where you go, man, if they'd kept their draft pick, they could have drafted player X. But assuming the Kings are just going to be this team and probably the 10th best record in the league. Okay. So they're missing out on the 20th pick in the draft.
Right.
It could be a fine player. We know that over the history, but also could be someone that never does a thing. So Siakam would be the best player in that deal by far. But then I think the question to me is more not of what you're losing is, would you think in your mind as Monty and West that Sabonis, Fox, Siakam, probably Murray and Monk as your core is the championship caliber?
And that's the key question.
That's the question.
That is the key question. It's a pretty damn
It's
good
close.
team.
Yeah, right.
And you find yourself wondering, is it championship caliber or is it Dame Lillard era Portland caliber?
Yeah, where it's getting close. And then now do you need to really hit the edges? And you go like, adding this player just pushed them over the top. I'd have thought about it.
I think I would. Yeah, I feel like I would.
Honestly, I would have thought about it a little bit, not knowing
Yeah.
that he resigns too.
Oof, really?
Thought.
Yeah.
But
interesting. All right, number 3, please.
Question 3.
Does the winner of tonight's game finally decide who won the trade?
Yes.
Yes, with a caveat. Can I give you the caveat?
Yeah.
It's 100% yes, unless Indiana wins.
Then
we have to
jury's out.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. This conversation kind of sucks now because I can already see what's coming. Look, Indiana is almost certainly going to make the playoffs this year.
Sure looks
And they're set up for a nice long run. But that can't be weaponized because once you added Siakam, it's not like, oh, look at Haliburton. Well, it is Haliburton, but it's also Siakam who's a legit star. So it's kind of unfair, right? Like, and I feel like Pacer fans are going to weaponize that in 2 years and be like, look where we are. It's like, yeah, but that wasn't just the Haliburton deal. Like, you added other stuff. That doesn't mean you won the deal. And I care about this because I'm a grown, mature man, and I care about what Pacer fans say on Twitter. I care about that.
Would the same thing if the Kings had Jeremy Grant and it propels them in the back half of the season? Well, that's not fair because you had Jeremy Grant. I think you look at how Sabonis plays and how Haliburton plays.
What do you know, Jason? Are you saying the Kings are? Yeah. Honestly, if that is one thing that everyone looks at every team. God, there's a way they can grab Jeremy Grant and Matisse Thybulle from Portland without giving up. I mean, well, let me ask you this. You got a choice. Jeremy Grant, Matisse Thybulle, or Pascal Siakam. It's the same going out, whatever that may be.
I think the two for one.
I agree.
Over one.
I agree.
I don't think the difference between Siakam and Grant is large.
I don't either, and I think Grant might actually sneakily be a better defender.
Mm-hmm.
Sneakily. And then Matisse Thybulle he's basically...
and fit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then Thybulle's basically two-guard Davion Mitchell.
Yeah.
I mean, he is a monster on defense, and we need that. Also, they say that Bruce Brown, by they I mean Woj, is a prime candidate to be rerouted to another team. Let me tell you something. I would not mind that at all. That was a guy in the offseason that, when you're looking at players, I thought it was a decent amount of money Indiana gave him, no doubt. But again, that is and Woj reporting again. We keep using him, but he's on it usually, reporting that the Kings are in the market for a solid defender, which I think is the exact right move. It's what we've talked about. It's what they need arguably the most. I believe it is. They're in the market for a very good defender. So he would qualify.
Keep your eyes open.
Keep your eyes open. I think the guy,
and Ben Simmons.
Jeremy, I mean, honest to God, with everybody mentioned, who's not being mentioned is Ben Simmons, and that kind of scares me in a good way.
What does Dave know?
Jeremy Grant, Matisse Thybulle, Bruce Brown,
DeMar DeRozan.
And DeJounte Murray, I think, are the names. Those are the names, I think.
Zach LaVine still?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't. Now, look, watch. They go out and move for it. I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't boycott. That's a lot of money.
It is.
And you're...
A lot of those guys have make some pretty good money.
Oh, man, I'm out of cash.
That's what the Kings will be saying next year when they're trying to sign players.
Yeah.
We'll take a break. When we come back, Kelly Brothers. We'll talk sports business with him, including the big Peacock fiasco, the streaming playoff game. What are getting prices this weekend for the games, and also Pat McAfee, ESPN, and what all that means. I think it's a rather interesting topic. We'll talk about it next.
Sunday on Sactown Sports, 2 more teams will punch their tickets to the conference championships. The Detroit Lions get another home game as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Then it's Mahomes versus Allen as the Chiefs battle the Bills in Buffalo.
Bucks and Lions Sunday at noon, followed by Chiefs and Bills at 3:30.
Get all your NFL playoff action on your home of Super Bowl 58. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Thursday. We are looking at a cool start with some patchy areas of fog. Into the afternoon, expect to see mostly cloudy skies today, a dry day. Highs in the upper 50s to low 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
When it's chilly cold at night, don't just add another blanket. Add a new furnace system instead. Now for as low as $5,999 with 0% interest and no payments for 18 months. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. The IRS just rolled out a new program to help struggling taxpayers more easily resolve their tax problems. It's called the Taxpayer Relief Initiative, and it opens up powerful new options for people looking to get back on the right track with the IRS. And no one knows this program like the professionals at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution company. They've resolved over $1 billion in tax debt for their clients and have the expertise and experience to help you. One easy call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries of wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Make today the beginning of your fresh start with the IRS. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief now for your free confidential consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. It's a new year. So, Chad, the big question, what's happening at Hoblet for Chrysler's Start Something New sales event?
We're starting the year off with even more savings. Right now, you can save up to $15,000 off MSRP on new 2023 Ram 2500 heavy-duty trucks with no payments for 90 days. That means you can get the new personal or company truck you've been needing and not make a payment for 3 months.
But why choose Hoblet versus all the other guys?
Because we not only have the best savings, we have the best selection of the hard-to-find heavy-duty trucks you need. Plus, when you come to Hoblet, you get the big city savings with the small-town family feel. There's a reason why so many of our customers buy from us over and over again.
Aha! See their full inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
15,000 total net savings after 98.34 factory rebates and 51.66 dealer discount. Rebates may include 1,000 Case equipment bonus cash. Must have purchased qualifying new equipment from Case dealer. No payments for 90 days through Chrysler Capital on approved credit. 10th is net savings. See dealer for details.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch supports and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Joining us now on Sports Sense, certified financial planner Kelly Brothers. Kelly is an advisor with Cap Trust, one of the nation's largest registered investment advisors. Cap Trust counts among its clients numerous pro athletes and pro sports franchises, but most importantly serves many Northern Californians through comprehensive financial planning. Here's Kelly Brothers.
All right. Kelly will be with us momentarily. Want to remind you at 8 a.m. Just 31 minutes and 20 seconds from now, give or take. Sam Amick will join us. Also, want to remind you, we are your home of the Sacramento Kings. We'll have all your coverage tonight. The return home for Sacramento against the. Is there a rivalry with the Pacers? Not like a big one, but
I feel like there is on social media.
Yeah,
a little bit.
What would you put Detroit in that?
Not at all.
Wait, like with the Kings?
with Twitter.
Oh, social media. There's a thing with that.
There is. Yes, there is, and that is a 100% social media rivalry because they were obnoxious when we drafted Keegan Murray.
Yeah,
and they got Jaden Ivey, and it turned into this whole. And there's also a sub rivalry there because one of their beat writers, guys, his name's like James Edwards.
The third.
Yeah, not Junior.
No.
Not the OG James Edwards.
No, not the one that played for the Pistons.
No.
Almost.
Was talking to James Edward almost. That's a good pull. Was talking about how like Sacramento was like a hole to go to, and nobody wanted to come here on roadies. And it's like, bro, you live in Detroit.
Right.
I remember that because I got into that, like, shockingly. Because, you're
like, I want
into this cesspool. Detroit guy going after Sacramento. And then I got into it so much. This is a true story. I got a phone call from Chris Granger, who is now the head of like all the Detroit sports.
Detroit. He's the head of Detroit.
And an old friend. He's like, hey man, it was a fun conversation. But he's like, and then like just started selling Detroit on me. But he'd seen it. Oh, wait a minute now. I'm going way back. I think you guys will remember this. Well, let me see. Do I need to be careful here? Let me do this. You'll know what I'm talking about. I know you will, Jason. I think you will too, Chris. Many years ago, but I want to say it was within the last 10. Wasn't there a job loss involving Detroit's intros here when somebody made the decision to put up pictures of riots, cars burnt, and somebody got in I truly can't remember who, but I'm almost positive somebody somebody with the Kings game ops.
Sounding familiar now.
Somebody in Kings
might be longer than that.
Maybe it is because you get old in time. Somebody I know this happened. Somebody in Kings game ops during the Detroit intros put up like there was like burnt out cars and all kinds of like rioty type of stuff. And one of three things happened. They either got a stern talking to, they got suspended, or they lost their job. And I think I want to say they lost their job. So the Detroit-Sacramento rivalry goes way back.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people remember that one. Are we hearing anything from Kelly at all? No? Kelly? Kelly?
He's crunching the numbers because he reached out to us this morning.
He did.
He's having a little trouble with StreamYard.
Oh, okay. It's a technical issue. Yeah, because we could always. I hate this because it's cutting into our Kelly time, and my dad's gonna get mad. It's my dad's favorite segment. It's a true story. Kelly handles like money and all that. Like he's a money guy. Do they still? This is just a wasting time question. Do they still do the thing in like the stock market and in New York where like they'll buy, sell, buy, and like everybody's on? Have you seen a clip of people doing that lately? Or is
no,
I haven't either.
Yeah.
So is it all just computers and stuff now?
Yeah, probably on like e-trading. Yeah.
Nobody's out there with like tickets. Remember in Trading Places when they were trying to sell the OJ future pork bellies? Yeah. And the guy just collapsed in the middle of the whole thing, and then Mortimer and whoever went in and picked everything up.
How come I remember Mortimer too? What was it?
Oh, I can't. It was so it was Don Amici and the other guy. It was Mortimer
and the dollar
was
bet.
It Fred? No, they were the Duke brothers.
Yeah,
Randolph and Mortimer Duke.
Good poll.
Joining us right now via phone because StreamYard's being stupid. That's okay. He already got his big fat hairy intro saying how great he is, and he deserves it. It's Kelly Brothers. Good morning.
Good morning. I thought you were going to say because I was being stupid, which is always possible. Operator error is always an option to find the ball.
No. Great minds like you, Kelly, media moguls, guys who handle the money. There's no way. And this has come from guys that had StreamYard issues before. We're just glad you're here with us. And as I was saying before you came on, those technical difficulties cutting into our Kelly Brothers time, which will piss off my father. So we'll get right to it. Let's talk about one of the big business stories. Peacock paying a ton of money to stream a game. They said there were more illegal streams going on over the weekend than ever recorded before. Good decision for Peacock. Do we know that yet, Kelly?
I think they're a first mover on this. I won't be surprised if 3 years from now you have to get behind some paywall to watch the Super Bowl. That wouldn't surprise me. So I think they're just the first to do it. I mean, the numbers, it's funny, we don't have the exact numbers yet. We know the viewing numbers, but that includes the local audience, which they allowed to stay local and not have to pay in Miami and in Kansas City. It was obviously it had prospects of being a great game. It had some ugly weather with people, which people like to watch. It had Taylor Swift. So the numbers were good and strong. But it also, not only was it the most live streamed event ever so far, but it also meant that Saturday night in the United States, we as a country had the highest internet usage we've ever had.
Wow.
Because of everyone streaming the game. So they're claiming victory. Who knows? I mean, the real victory will be, okay, let's say going into this game, they had 30 million subs,
right,
or let's say a week before this game. The question is, all right, a month from now, how many subs do they have? If it's 40 million, it was a success, a huge success, because that was the whole deal. Is people had to drop money to sign up to get it, and I know there were bars scrambling to make sure they could get it and placate their clientele as well. But that will be the number. We don't have that number yet, but by all accounts, it looks like it was a success, and I would expect to see more streaming of significant games in the future.
In as we go this direction, Kelly and Dave brought it up, how cognizant are those groups, whether it's Amazon, Peacock, whoever's doing the streaming services, are they of the, kind of the illegal, the sharing of streams that, how do they prevent that? How is that something that they're trying to safeguard against?
Yeah, and it's early in the game, Jason, I think, for them to be worried about the bars who used a personal license when they should have a commercial license. They're not worried about that yet. But, I mean, we've seen in the last year, Netflix, for example, crack down on the sharing of credentials, on the sharing of usernames and passwords to get in, where you gave it to all your cousins, you gave it to your kids. It was being used from 7 different or 8 different locations. They've cracked down on that, and profitability has gone up. Their sub numbers have gone up as people have realized, oh boy, I got to get my own subscription. So you're going to see, I think these companies are going to be pretty vigilant about making sure that the people watching are the ones who have paid.
And Kelly Brothers with us. And the funniest thing about that whole thing is people were mad at Netflix. And I'm all for the people versus business, don't get me wrong. But it's they really got mad at Netflix. They could no longer scam the system and throw out. It's in what other world?
How dare you catch me?
Right. How dare you say, and I'm a guy, look, I'll say it. I'm a guy, I think every once in a while a new profile shows up on my Netflix. I think 17 people have my password. It is what it is. But if all of a sudden they crack down and I could just use it for me and my family, it's dude, that's a business. I can't grab a Big Mac, duplicate it, and give it to 17 people.
Dave, I'm still using your login, so thank
you. Kelly Brothers with us. Kelly, when we continue down the road here, there's, I don't know how I want to. Pat McAfee. So here's the thing. Pat McAfee and Aaron Rodgers and the weird guy that's always just staring into the screen. They've been making a lot of headlines lately. And a lot of it has to do with non-sports related issues. And a lot of it, Pat came out and went after Normie Williamson, who's a VP. I mean, there's a lot of inside politics here at ESPN, or there at ESPN. And there's become this big thing, and you'll remember it wasn't that long ago. John Skipper left ESPN, and really the big mandate was, okay, everybody, Jamel Hill, John Skipper, a lot of these folks either left or were booted. It was enough politics, enough non-sports. Everyone shut up in Sports Center. And it looks like Pat McAfee's kind of bucking that trend lately.
Yeah, or at least he's allowing Aaron Rodgers to buck the trend for him. Yep. But he for him to go after Normie, that's
yeah.
I mean, I think what that shows, and
tails wagging the dog.
Yeah, I mean, it just shows that there's a whole new breed of sports personality, and that is a guy who had a brand and would have a brand with or without the worldwide sports leader. Pat McAfee would be a brand and was a brand. And he could easily take his show and go on YouTube and just do it without ESPN. But ESPN realizes that the new sports fans are not necessarily, they're not necessarily going to jump on the Dan Orlovsky, Stephen A. Smith bandwagon. I mean, they're trying to figure out, this is not your father's ESPN. What's it going to be? And it's going to be a little bit more like Pat McAfee, obviously. So, but it does show where the power lies now. And it's with the Pat. I mean, oh my God, his deal you're talking well over $100 million when you add up ESPN, the podcast, and everything else. I mean, this was he just thinks and looks and sounds a little bit different than, Chris Berman or some of the other ESPN hosts of the past. So I think that's where the power lies. But to see him try to blow up his own, the guy who hired him, basically, that really, I mean, ESPN it's a brave new world for ESPN, and they have been cutting, especially, for a long time, they were really the only player. And now you've got Amazon and Apple and every streaming wanting in on sports, mainly because no one wants to record it or fast forward through it. It is a real time moment in time that people want to experience. And it's the last of it left, really.
Kelly, as an offshoot of that, like McAfee's not going to have Aaron Rodgers on anymore, at least for the short term. Any collateral damage here, you think, to Rodgers in this?
No, he said he was going to have him on, and he was on the next day.
Right. Yeah.
So, Aaron's never been afraid of saying what's on his mind, and I'm not sure why Jimmy Kimmel takes so much umbrage. I mean, he does it on a regular basis as well, but and he says things on his show and has done things in the past, but I don't want to. That's not
Kelly. He did say basically that Kimmel was going to be on Epstein's list.
Or he actually said,
he doesn't want
to show up on the list.
Yeah. He doesn't want it to come out.
It was a dig.
Yeah,
there's no doubt about it.
Kimmel's done the same.
Yeah, but I will. The one thing about, let's put it this way, to take it back to football, I think if anything there was last week, it was the weekend of shunned quarterback redemption. When you think about Jared Goff, when you think about Baker Mayfield, and when you think about Jordan Love led his team to victory on the road while his beloved predecessor was on a couch in New Jersey somewhere.
Yeah. Wow.
So Aaron's going to keep talking because he can't help himself. And, a lot of people may not realize, guys, Aaron Rodgers gets paid well for his weekly appearance on the McAfee Show. That's $1 million a year deal.
Well, and so he already had money, and he's still young, and now he's got even more money. So let me finish up here with a scenario. Let's say all of a sudden Aaron Rodgers, with all this new influx of cash from the McAfee Show, calls you and says, "What do I do, man? What do I do with all this money? Where are you steering him?"
I would say, Aaron, here's what you need to do. Yeah. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't say. Actually, one thing I've always loved about Aaron Rodgers, I always loved when he would be part of the introduction and he would say Butte Community College instead of
yes.
That's what I love that about him.
Sorry, that was a ham-handed way of me asking you to plug things.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You're great about it. So at Tap Trust, we are ready for another year after a strange year, but a positive year last year. And as I wrote to our clients this past week, this year will probably feel like a dumpster fire, but it could be another productive year if the Fed does what it says it's going to do and cut rates a few times. I mean, that'll be a nice tailwind for stocks and for bonds, but it's going to feel like a dumpster fire because it's an election year. And what happens in election years is both candidates from both sides end up just tearing down the country, tearing each other down, and it feels lousy. It just feels bad. But barring some huge exogenous event, which can always happen, whether it's war or pandemic or something else, it could turn out to be a decent year, gentlemen. I hope it is anyway. Hopefully it is for you guys as well.
Well, your lips to Santa's ears. There we go. Kelly Brothers joins us each and every Thursday at 7:27, whether they're StreamYard or not. That's what he does. He gets through it all. We appreciate you, and we'll talk to you in a week, my friend. Thank you.
All right, buddy. Shout out to your dad. Take care, buddy.
Take care. My dad was listening too. We'll take a break. When we come back with Indiana coming into town, no, we're not going to do the whole revisit the trade necessarily. Let's look at his numbers because he's facing his former king tonight. All the focus is on Tyrese Haliburton. Meanwhile, DeMontis is just making all-star teams and winning rebounding titles and getting triple-doubles and getting super awesome chants for him. There's no Tyrese Haliburton chant, I don't think so. We'll get into that next.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
And a handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
California's largest sportsman's expo is back Thursday through Sunday at Cal Expo in Sacramento. Get $3 off coupons at Big O Tires and O'Reilly Auto Parts stores. Get to the action in Toyota's all-new Tacoma. Visit sportsexpos.com for locations, seminars, and show info. Your life outdoors at the International Sportsman's Expo, Thursday through Sunday at Cal Expo in Sacramento. More info at sportsexpos.com.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
It's time to buck up, Sacramento. The professional bull riders are back. PBR Sacramento Wrangler Long Live Cowboys Classic will take over downtown's Golden One Center this February 2nd through 4th. 3 huge nights of edge-of-your-seat bucking, featuring some of the biggest bulls and toughest cowboys on the planet. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.
Stop by any participating AM/PM location for a 20% off ticket discount code when you buy Monster Energy.
Carmichael Dave here for my good friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Right now, American Energy offering $0 HVAC diagnostics. That's normally $99 for nothing. Let the American Energy team test your system, connections, and all the moving parts of your system to ensure it's functioning properly. Let me say that again. $0 to get your HVAC diagnostic-ted. That's not even a word. That's normally $100. Making the uncomfortable comfortable. That's what American Energy does. That's what they've done since 1981. Been serving the greater Sacramento area since then. A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Call today to schedule your appointment at 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990. Do it before January 31st or go to AmericanEnergyAir.com.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
In the morning to get your sports fix.
Live and local.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
You ever wonder where the term "spill the beans" came from?
Hadn't, but
probably a grocery store.
Hey, spill the beans. How did that come into tell the thing?
Or the tea?
Yeah, spill the tea. What is? So the tea is the gossip, and you need to spill it over onto me. I looked up mind your P's and Q's. I know that one.
Why wouldn't it just be pass?
Huh?
Why did you have to spill them?
Yeah, why not just pass it or give me a sip?
Yeah.
Let me have some beans.
Yeah.
I would like some beans. No, spill the beans.
Share the beans?
Share the beans is what it should be.
Share the tea?
That's exactly right. Why does it have to spill?
Yeah.
Welcome back.
Hi.
DeMontis Sabonis. I don't know why I said it like Sean Connery. Facing the Pacers. It's actually funny to remember he was once an Oklahoma City Thunder.
He was.
They're pretty good at drafting.
Mm-hmm.
Makes you wonder if that'd be a fun project for somebody, as my ADD just goes into overtime here. If you took every team in the NBA, but they could only make up a roster of players they've drafted.
Yeah, I did that before.
Did you? Thunder have to be the best team, right? Aren't they?
They're really good. The other one that was sneaky good, if you just take literally the player they drafted. So the difference on the way I did it is like technically the Sacramento Kings drafted like Bismack Biyombo, Zach Collins.
Yeah.
Even though those drafts, shifted. So if you do it that way, Philly's really good.
Really?
Really good. Like Philly, as far as active players, well, now Iguodala's out, but the amount of all-stars, it was something like, obviously Embiid and Simmons, but like Drew Holiday, Iguodala. It just went.
And there's also a world it doesn't factor with your system, but there's also I believe there's a world where they could have Jason Tatum as well, because didn't they have that?
They had that pick. They traded it.
They traded it, and
but that was actually draft day. So like,
yeah.
That
doesn't count.
Yeah.
But they ended up going Fultz instead of Tatum in the Fox draft.
But yeah, a couple teams were really good.
I'll bet. Not the Kings.
No.
I don't suspect they'd be up there. 134 games as a King. And Jason, I don't know if you've seen these numbers yet.
Mm-mm.
He's averaging 19.4 points per game, 12.4 rebounds, 7.3 assists, and a record. Remember, he was a tiny part of the 16th straight year of them missing the playoffs.
Yeah.
So counting that, 75 and 59.
Yeah, so in games he's in, there's 16 games above 500. That's pretty good.
He has won a rebounding title. He's all-NBA. He was an all-star.
Probably a second-time all-star for here, at least.
That's right. 113 double-doubles, 25.
Wow.
I've said it before. I'll say it again.
Trip dubs.
He is. It is almost a shame that he's playing in the NBA. Imagine an NBA in which Nikola Jokic doesn't exist. That's DeMontis Sabonis. Yeah. He's the closest we have to Nikola Jokic. If you were saying, well, I really like a Jokic type guy, that's him.
Yeah. Timing is everything for a lot of these guys. Like, you should say that with Phil Mickelson, one of the greatest golfers ever. He was around with Tiger. Like, if Tiger doesn't exist in that 20-year stretch, is Phil have all of that? Maybe. I don't know, but he was so gifted, and Sabonis is gifted. He's so talented, so skilled, and we're watching it on a nightly basis. And I sure hope people don't take that for granted.
I here's the thing. I think they do, and I'm not talking to you, sir, or you, ma'am. I'm talking to the people that do, because I think they do. I think they saw the Warriors basically focus their entire defensive strategy on DeMontis Sabonis,
which was really smart.
Really, really smart, and kind of a credit to him. And let's be honest, he didn't have the greatest postseason. Don't get me wrong.
But also, I think it's framed like he was awful. He wasn't, but he was not what he was as an All-NBA and All-Star.
That's exactly right. And they look at that and go, oh, well, he's not the scorer Chris Webber is.
No.
but he's arguably better in pretty much every other category.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say they're probably the same defender. Look, Chris wasn't, the end all be all defensively. Domantas Sabonis is truly, when you get into the Mount Rushmore of Sacramento Kings and you start with the untouchables and Mitch Richmond and Chris Webber. Okay.
Mitch in the building tonight, by the way.
That's really actually super awesome that he is. I've seen Mitch around in a while. I think it becomes an incredible argument afterwards because you have DeMarcus Cousins, you have De'Aaron Fox, you have Peja, you have Vlade, you have Mike Bibby.
It might be these two guys, Fox and Sabonis.
It might be. I think when it's
probably Fox.
I think it is Fox
for tenure and the records he's now. But
I agree with
Sabonis plays out his I forgot what he signed an extension for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah.
I mean, if he plays, the stats will be staggering.
He's going to lead in quite a few, or be close to quite a few categories. I think the question ultimately comes down to, okay, if we agree that it's Mitch, it's Weber, and it's Foxy, and you got one spot left, I think Sabonis his fight is with DeMarcus Cousins.
Mm-hmm.
I think ultimately when you put the whole picture in, not just numbers, but also team success,
Sabonis.
It's either Sabonis or it's about to be Sabonis. And when you consider that the Kings traded a guy for what is ultimately going to be a top 4 Sacramento King of all time. Now the counter there is, of course, Tyrese might have been too.
Maybe he would have been, yeah.
But not with Fox. Anytime.
Well, we don't know.
We don't know.
Because I think people say, like, I also, again, that didn't work. And I'm like, well, what's didn't work? Like, were both guys good? They were. Now, on their own, they've been better. Or separated,
yes.
They've been better.
Yes.
But I also think, I don't know. I wouldn't mind. And would they have? A part of this is they changed their offense around Sabonis, which makes sense. But if they ran more of this free flowing or they went full pace with both these, like the Pacers are the number 1 offense in the history of the league. The Kings were last year. Now Tyrese is on that. I think they could have figured that out with Haliburton and Fox. I think. Now, I don't know if they would have won more games, but
I just don't know if either of them are at the same level they are now together.
Maybe not.
That's the question.
Yeah, we don't know.
16.5 points, 11 rebounds, almost 5 assists, and a block on 50% shooting from the field is what Domantas Sabonis did in the playoffs last year.
16, 11, and 5?
16.5, 11, and 5 on 50% shooting.
Yeah, sounds awful.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
It's basically Ben Simmons in the playoffs.
But isn't that weird? Those numbers are good. It just wasn't the impact.
No, just because he's not, like, the guy's not on fire in the postseason.
Right.
Okay, fine. Well, maybe
you said 16, 11, and 5.
Yeah.
The averages you said as a King are 19, 12, and 7.
Yeah.
He was terrible.
And he had an entire defense.
Yeah. Well, it's more difficult, too, to score. And
yeah. So he's not on fire. Maybe he should have gone to fire.
Kings return home Thursday night to G1C as Domantas Sabonis faces his former team.
What a pass and what placement
from Sabonis.
It's the Kings and Pacers Thursday at 7 on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. It's Thursday. We are looking at a cool start with some patchy areas of fog. Into the afternoon, expect to see mostly cloudy skies today, a dry day. Highs in the upper 50s to low 60s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
The new year is here at Folsom Lake Kia. Shop my favorite dealer, Folsom Lake Kia, for low interest rates, low payment with zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia for over 25 years right here in Sacramento.
Imagine it's the final game of the season, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are making a comeback. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
What's up? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Woodland. Chad, as you know, it's a brand new year. The big question, what's happening at Hoblet for Chrysler's Start Something New sales event?
We're keeping our traditions alive by continuing to offer the best savings on remaining new 2023 Ram 1500 Bighorn Crew cabs. Right now, you can save up to $12,000 off MSRP, and even better yet, you don't have to make a payment for 90 days.
Well, that's a pretty big deal. $12,000 off MSRP on one of America's favorite trucks.
That's the difference between Hoblet and so many others. We are here to help you get the truck you need at the best possible price, and you won't find a better selection of new Rams with over 500 trucks available. At Hoblet, we want you to be a customer for life.
See their full inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
12,000 total net savings after 6841 factory rebates and 5159 dealer discounts. Rebates may include 1,000 case equipment bonus cash. Must have purchased new case equipment from qualifying dealer. No payment for 90 days through Chrysler Capital on approved credit. 10 at this net savings. See dealer for details.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, KHTK AM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento, the only station in Sacramento giving you local sports coverage from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday.
Sactown Sports.
The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Christopher Laud. Here we go. Hat.
Nope.
You say no. Okay, hold on. All right.
Chris has probably seen him.
Chris, have you seen him?
I have to see him.
Oh, yeah, that's a great point. All right, you're out. I'm going to say yes. No,
Sam's been having good hair days lately.
He has. Yeah. What's another one?
Glasses.
Ooh,
Yep.
Good one. You say yes?
Mm-hmm.
It's early. I'm going to go yes. And then finally, will we hear a dog bark at any point?
I'm going to go Saturday.
You know what? I think you're right, but just to be different, I'm going to waffle here.
Nice to unveil.
Right, let's see. All right, Sammy. Oh!
Yeah, good hair day
Good
and
hair
glasses.
day.
Yeah.
All right, so I said yes. Yeah, you won that one. We tied on the glasses. He is not wearing a hat. He just got up to do something. What was that? What did you just get up to do, Sam?
Well, you talked about my dog, and then she must have heard you. She was at the door scratching.
Oh, come on! Is she inside now?
Yeah, she's here.
Okay. Well, we're hoping
She's here. She's not barking yet.
Okay. I would just like to say I'm allowed to do this. Drunk neighbor John, if you're listening and you want to go ring the doorbell, I wouldn't hate you for that.
Why are you trying to cause chaos here? I already got what's going on.
I don't want to. Gosh, I don't know. I'm sorry, guys, because I'm going to do this. It just came across the wire right now, and we're having fun and being friends and stuff. But the NBA is postponing Friday's Warriors-Mavericks game as well after the sudden death of Golden State assistant Sam Dejan Milojevic. Am I getting that right?
I believe so.
I haven't heard it. I've heard a bunch of different pronunciations.
That's terrible.
That's according to your colleague Sham Sharani. Warriors Jazz was postponed last night following the tragic passing. Now, Sam, I'm 100% putting you on the spot, and I apologize. And look, it's perfectly okay if all I can say is this: you're in the league, you're around, and I'm sure you've heard the same things. I'm going to be really honest. I had not heard Dejan's name before the tragedy, but the last 24, 36 plus hours, saw Bob Myers on ESPN all choked up. You've seen this outpouring. It certainly sounds like he had a very underrated, I guess is the right word, effect on a lot of players in this league.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm also, I didn't know, he was affectionately called Decky. I learned more about him in the past 24 hours. It's awful.
Yeah.
I didn't know him, which I regret because I know most of the Warriors people. But having learned about him, Mike Brown yesterday, I went to Kings practice and Mike obviously worked with him with the Warriors. That wasn't a bark, but that was
I got you. That was a caller.
And Mike certainly got emotional talking about how it hit him. And I had asked Mike, just what memories come to mind that kind of best captured Decky and who he was as a person. And he kind of smiled a little bit and talked about the fact that if you looked up big teddy bear in the dictionary and he laughed. He's like, I know it's not in the dictionary, but if you did,
right,
you would see his face. A sweet guy is another word that Mike used to describe him. He talked about how in the NBA, typically you have ups and downs with everybody, right? In terms of relationships, you're hot, you're cold, and that's just how it is. And he said that, with Decky, that was never the case. You were always good. He was steady. He was kind of, obviously had a family. We all kind of filter it differently. I'm the same age as he was. And that certainly hits. The Warriors though, and, you see the league's choice to postpone another game.
Yeah.
It obviously speaks to how incredibly hard this hit their organization. They're at a team dinner. So you not only have the loss, you have a real trauma component here of people having, have unfortunately had to see what happened. So awful stuff. And, good on the league for being sensitive.
And just a quick follow-up, look, there's basketball and sports and there's real life. And obviously one far pales to the other. The Warriors are probably the team, the biggest rivalry for the Kings, take a lot of pride and happiness in beating them. But as a human being, obviously this takes the cake beyond anything they've ever dealt with, but my God, what a nightmare season for the War. I honestly, as a human, feel bad for the roster and that entire organization.
Yeah. I mean, you have, like you already said it, appropriately, there's layers to this.
Yeah, of 100%.
But it is the thought, that same thought crossed my mind yesterday. You mentioned Bob Myers. You go back to Bob Myers' choice to leave. I always remember when the Warriors lost to the Lakers in the playoffs. I had tried to catch Klay Thompson real quickly on the way out of the locker room in LA and asked him about the prospect of Bob Myers leaving. And I'm paraphrasing, but he was just like, Bob Myers is Warriors basketball. Like, we can't lose Bob. And to go from that, where you knew that kind of one of the guys who was part of the heart and soul of their culture was going to leave, and Mike Dunleavy trying to carry the torch, and Draymond Green and all the drama that's happened since then, Steph Curry in the middle of it, trying to not only play at an elite level, but to now more than ever, it's important how he uses his voice on trades, on roster stuff, on locker room stuff. It's all just overwhelming, or at least you thought it was, and then you have something like this. So yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, talking with Sam Amick again. No good transition here, but Sam, last week when we discussed NBA stuff and referring to Pascal Siakam, we talked about the Kings and maybe Siakam's camp kind of letting the Kings and others know that, hey, look, if you trade for me, that like kind of really trying to squash that. Like the place I can get more money is obviously Toronto, but just maybe getting some reservations, some other teams. Well, I know you wrote about it. Now they've landed him in Indiana, and he might make that a long-term deal. What was the draw for him and them to make that partnership?
So, I wrote about this late last night. There we have a bark.
Yes, Dave. Mark that in. Thank you.
Wrote about it last night, and honestly really enjoyed it. It was one of those stories. I always like trying to learn about some of the behind the scenes dynamics that lead to moves and where people's heads were at. So on the Pacers front, you had Pascal and his people essentially playing it, like you said, Jason, for maximum return on revenue, right? So the idea was, don't let go of the rope with Toronto until the very end. So they did that, but then you quickly learn on the Indiana front that, oh, by the way, and this is always tricky because, league rules, like you can't officially be talking about free agency already. But let's not kid ourselves. These deals don't get done unless, what
is clicking there, guy?
It's apologies.
No, it's okay.
It is. I'll try to mute it. The Pacers had a lot of things in their favor that I've now learned about. Number one, the money wise, I'm just being real. Like, it seems pretty evident that he's got a lot of confidence going into this summer that he's going to get the contract that he wants. Number two, player wise, basketball wise, old friend of the program, Tyrese Haliburton, played a big part here. I chatted with Tyrese a little bit yesterday. He didn't end up doing media, but we did connect, and it's pretty obvious that he had a large voice in this trade, and that also that Pascal really wants to play with him. Not that it interests your audience that much, but in terms of the Pacers history,
sure,
that is an interesting wrinkle because, if you go back to the Paul George days, he was frustrated back then that the Pacers didn't give him a voice. He's talked publicly about recruiting Anthony Davis and having Anthony Davis willing to come to Indiana, and the Pacers front office, the same one that's in place now for the most part, essentially saying we're not going to do that and going a different direction. So Tyrese is absolutely, kind of at the head of the table there in Indiana. The other thing, Miles Turner, this has got a Kings layer to it as well. Miles is a guy who, in Domantas Sabonis' past life, the two big men tried to figure out how to be at their best with an imperfect fit, right?
Right.
So that's always a thing for Turner. And Pascal has actually wanted to play with Miles for a long time and thinks that they fit really, really well. So I know I threw a lot at you and had noises coming the entire time, but that's kind of the way I see it.
So, Sam Amick joining us. A lot to cover here. So you now hear the no shocker. Kings are in the market for a good defender, and they're attached to a ton of stuff. You've heard DeJounte Murray. You've heard Matisse Thybulle, Clint Capella. Now even Bruce Brown, who seems to perhaps be a candidate to be on the move. Are you hearing similar names, or is there anything I'm missing that you're kind of locking into right now? Jeremy Grant being another.
Yeah, Grant was the one I was going to add to your list with the qualifier that the Blazers have not signaled a real intention to move him.
Yeah.
My feeling is that he would have to really push his way out. I don't have a great sense for it. You kind of wonder if he might. Like, they're not competitive. He's not getting any younger. And really, he's kind of there because Damian Lillard wanted him there, so who knows what happens on the Grant front. Kyle Kuzma is another one that I forget if you mentioned him. I think
I didn't. Yeah.
Is, a lot of history there. They thought that he was coming their way years ago. So yeah, they'll be active. The Bruce Brown one, I heard that one actually talking to Deuce Mason yesterday at Kings practice and need to look into it. But in terms of first glance, that certainly makes a lot of sense if they were able to pull something like that off. So they'll be active. And I will.
Ben Simmons. No.
I don't know if you're serious.
No. Well, it's like
he's always serious.
It's a running
Ben
joke
Simmons.
with me about Ben Simmons, but honestly, I mean, who knows, right?
Who knows? I mean, stranger things have happened. I was going to say real quick, not to hit the rewind button, but man, the more I learn about the Pascal King situation, it's like that. I think that deal was pretty close.
Really?
Yeah. Like it was pretty close.
So in what did it get held up, Sam, because of that Pascal maybe refusal to sign, or at least leaning or hinting at that? Was that a holdup?
I don't have full clarity. But I mean, considering since then, the intel has been that even though the Kings had kind of broadcasted the fact that they were out of the talks, that they were still quietly willing to do it without assurances of what would happen this summer. I don't think that was the ultimate holdup. I mean, I had somebody yesterday, and again, I don't really know. And this is part of the business. Like they weren't mad about it, but they kind of, it was not a Kings person, to be clear. They indicated that when Shams Charania had reported at the time of the talks, when we put that out there, that might have played a part. I mean, that's, people get a little skittish when stuff goes public. So I don't know, but I think it was very real.
I know we don't necessarily have the framework of what was discussed, but is it safe to say you heard Monk was a holdup, Keegan was off the table? That would lead me to think it would be Harrison Barnes, Davion Mitchell, Herter, and a combination of picks. Do you have any insight on that?
Yeah, I think my educated guess would be the way you framed it. Barnes, Herter, Mitchell, and then the pick package, whatever it looked like. I think it's really, it's very telling about where they're at with those three guys. They're obviously very willing to come off of them.
Yeah.
And also telling, though, again, we always try to extract some meaning from like situations like that for what does it tell you about the team. Well, you mentioned, Dave, the level of aggressiveness on the Kings' part. I mean, I think it shows how aggressive they are, because it seems pretty clear they were willing to say goodbye to those guys for potentially 4 months with Pascal Siakam.
Yeah, I guess, Sam, if we're connecting the dots, then going forward for the Kings, I'm just trying to think. Oh, I guess DeMar DeRozan is a player that's a free agent. I'm sure there's others, but would the Kings, if they find interest in someone else, be willing, I guess, to make that same kind of risk, not knowing they could sign a player in the future if they do think it really will help them this year?
I don't know, Jay. I mean, it's always it's funny. I enjoy covering trade deadline season, but you always feel like we're scratching the surface in terms of what's actually happening. So I would I had somebody tell me the other day, it was a head coach. I was asking him about their team and their trade situations, and he made a reference to let me check the board, in his office. He was being helpful. And it got me excited. The fan part of my brain was like, "Ooh, I want to see the board."
Right. Right.
Like every team has a real board. We sit here and speculate, and they, the Kings are probably listening, going, "Oh God, you guys are so off. It's not even funny."
Right.
But that's part of it. I want to qualify though when it comes to the aggressiveness. You have, Anthony Slater, a friend and colleague at The Athletic, was just with the Kings on the road. He wrote a piece the other day about their kind of widespread affection for Keegan Murray, right? But he actually came back from that trip painting a more of a nuanced picture where, yes, the Kings are very aggressive, but they are nowhere near panic mode when it comes to the state of the team, even after the Bucks loss, even after the Suns lost. I don't know I know those two things are hard to reconcile, but I don't think it's desperation. I think it's aggression, and there's a bit of a distinction there.
Sam Amick with us. One of the other players they were at least loosely connected to is Clint Capella of the Hawks. And I've said on the program before that I've talked to non-Monty, because I want to be clear on that, members of the franchise before, and there are some that are convinced that ultimately one of, if not the key, is to bring in a rebounding, defensive-minded five that they ultimately believe Sabonis' home is at the 4. I'm curious with you, have you heard anything about that, and is that necessarily a foreign thing when it comes to, we always assume it's going to be a 3, it's going to be a 2, but could it very well be a 5 and they moved DeMontis over?
Yeah, I could see it. I haven't heard Clint. I have wondered about Clint. Mm-hmm. He certainly seems, a lot of these names that we talk about every week are just not very gettable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Clint feels very gettable. The Hawks are in a bit of a free fall and, open for business. I do think that the philosophical question of who is best to put next to Domantas Sabonis is an extremely important one. And if they decide Clint's that guy, then maybe something like that happens. It kind of dovetails into the Miles Turner stuff that we talked about from back in the day with Indiana. Jeremy Grant's a name that we've talked about for a long time. Is that kind of a player the right type of guy? I actually chatted with, I think this is fair to share, just kind of talking ball recently, but was at a game and Doug Christie and I were talking about some historical comps, right? Like you had Domantas' father, Arvydas Sabonis, played with Rasheed Wallace, which is an interesting pairing, in that kind of a front court where you have a really good passing big man and Domas's dad, and a guy like Rasheed who could stretch the floor. Trying to think the other one that he brought up. Well, you have Jokic in Denver with Aaron Gordon, and you've talked for a long time, Dave, about the Kings needing their Aaron Gordon. So yeah, I don't know where that question kind of lies or where it goes and who they get, but that aspect is important.
Now that we've seen a couple of moves here, Sam, I think there's just do you have some teams to watch to make more moves? Like we're seeing Minnesota and OKC maybe outperform, at least at the beginning of the year, that they've got a good thing going, but maybe another trade helps them, and OKC's got so many assets. Some of these other teams in the West that maybe we're not focusing in on, how aggressive do you think we'll see some of those guys?
Top of my head, Jay, and this is definitely not on the short list. I'm going to unpack it so I can get to a better answer. Like Phoenix, I just wrote about them recently. They don't have many assets. I think they're an interesting trade deadline team because they have so much at stake. Kevin Durant, where he's at in his career, Booker, Bradley Beal, all of the above. So they're very, very, very focused on getting some depth, getting some help. So I think Phoenix is interesting. My mind is admittedly a little focused on the sellers versus the buyers. I mean, Atlanta is I already mentioned them. They've got a lot going on. The Chicago stuff has not been resolved. Zach LaVine feels like he might not go anywhere. Who am I leaving out in terms of, who we talk about that would be most aggressive?
Well, you got Sacramento. You had Chicago.
Well, the Lakers are always going to at least be mentioned, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Lakers. I mean, there's been a lot happening there.
Warriors,
Wizards.
Yeah, I mean, Warriors is worth getting into. They are, we know the context there. High level of motivation to get something done. And honestly, this is, again, just reading the room. Like I'm at the point where it would not shock me to see a big name come up, in the next couple of weeks as far as the Warriors go. I don't know what that
big name going out.
Yeah. I mean, I just think that if you could be a fly on the wall in Joe Lacob's office right now, there's no way he's not talking about everything other than trading Steph Curry. There's no way. And it's been reported as such with the qualifier that, of course they love Clay, they love Draymond, they love not to, part ways with them. But I either, this is, my own personal 2 cents in terms of my radio consuming habits. I'm either checking in with you guys or I'm checking in with the Bay. And man, as you know, when you turn on some of that Bay radio, those folks are not in a good place as far as Warriors fans, and that heat is coming down hard on Joe and Steve Kerr, and that I think could spark something big. But yeah, we'll see what happens.
Well, and last thing, we're out of time here, but we were talking about teams. Are you convinced that even if they were going to be aggressive, has this 6-game win streak given us a reversal on the Utah Jazz?
It was never, I don't think, that dire, that hot to begin with.
Okay.
Lauri Markkanen's name, understandably got pulled in, and I talked to the Jazz front office at that time, and it's a Danny Ainge front office, so they will talk about trading their mother if it's a good conversation. That's how Danny's wired.
But you're getting 5 draft picks if you're trading.
Yes.
That's the thing.
Yeah. I mean, I reported, just to give you an idea, at the height of the Kyrie Irving being perceived as toxic situation, with his alleged anti-Semitism and that whole thing.
Yeah.
I was checking around the league about how teams saw him. And it was like, Utah was like, no, that'd be good. We'd love Kyrie, oh, okay. They consider everything all the time. So no, I don't think Lowry's going anywhere. Briefly, I know we got to run the Lakers and DeJounte Murray. I feel like if you're handicapping, I could certainly see that one coming to fruition, but we'll see if they get it over the finish line.
That's Sam Amick. Read him at the Athletic. So many of our friends work over there, talking about the Pacers and Pascal Siakam and the permanence of that, his latest piece, and so much more to come as we barrel down the trade deadline. Sam, thanks to you. Thanks to your pooch. What's the dog's name again?
This is Willow, your friend of the show.
That's right. Friend of the show, Willow. Thanks so much for helping me win the bet. And we will talk to you next week, friend. Thank you.
All right, guys. Be good. Have a good weekend.
Take care. We will take a break. When we come back, 4 down territory. So get ready for getting your HVAC checked out for free. Yeah, that's right. Free. My friends at American Energy Heat and Air offering a free HVAC diagnostic. That's a $99 value. They'll test your system, connections, and all the moving parts of that system to ensure it's functioning properly. You know the phrase. American Energy is making the uncomfortable comfortable. This offer only lasts about less than 2 weeks, end of the month. So call and make your appointment at 916-520-9990. 916-520-9990. Been making Sacramento proud since 1981. It's a long time. The year Chris was born. A+ Better Business Bureau. AmericanEnergyAir.com, AmericanEnergyAir.com, or 916-520-9990 for your free HVAC diagnostic. A $99 value expires at the end of the month. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. 4-down territory coming up next.
The 49ers earned the NFC's top seed.
On the first play of the game, CMC Dynamite!
Join all of our shows. The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross, Dials, and Watkins. And the Drive Guys as they follow their quest for a 6th Super Bowl title.
Pressured right away by Young and sacked by Eric Armstead.
Sactown Sports is your home for San Francisco 49ers football.
San Francisco!
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of the Drive of the Game. Now listen to every Kings game for Gary Gerald's Drive of the Game call. Then listen to Jason and myself the next morning for a chance to win a $100 Jiffy Lube certificate, courtesy of all the Jiffy Lube locations in the greater Sacramento area. Get your vehicle ready for the holiday driving season at Jiffy Lube today. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. For more information, go to jiffylube.com.
No teams have faced each other more in playoff history than the San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. That record-setting 10th meeting is Saturday night as the top seed 49ers look to move to the NFC Championship, while Green Bay is seeking their second consecutive upset.
Join Greg Papa and Tim Ryan for the call Saturday at 5:15 on your home for the San Francisco 49ers, Sactown Sports.
San Francisco!
Guys, your testosterone level impacts your energy, drive, weight, hair loss, and even ED. Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your T level for free. For your free T level check, exam, and consultation, call 916-277-8599 or visit revivemenshealth.com.
Get a great deal on your new Silverado at the Maida Chevy Silverado Superstore.
Great selection, great factory financing and incentive.
And great Maida Chevy savings on every new Silverado in stock.
Online at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Have you ever envisioned having $500,000 in advertising to conquer the remodel market, but felt overwhelmed at the thought of going it alone? Now you don't have to. Join Subcontractors United and share your advertising with 2 other contractors in your trade. Get $500,000 in advertising for only $1,042 a month. We are so sure this will work that we're giving away free advertising until June 2024 to qualified contractors. Visit subcontractorsunited.com today.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain, very intense, can make your eyes water. It makes you walk funny because you're trying to get pressure off your heel. I had instability. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And I was driving past the Good Feet store. I mean, why not? Give it a try.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure they fitted me with the right thing. And so they brought out several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet, just when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
Kevin Lewis of National Garage Door. Whether you need to repair a broken spring, install a new opener, or buy a quality Rainer door, National Garage Door is here for you. Call us today to see how we can transform your house with a new garage door.
638-4554 National Garage Door.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big ol' nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. 2-day GA tickets are on sale now, starting at $85, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Oak Ridge Winery.
Don't miss out on New Year's savings at Folsom Lake Kia. Low prices and payments on your favorite new Kia models. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia, right here in Sacramento for over 25 years, or FolsomLakeKia.com.
Capital Casino, conveniently located on 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento.
Carmichael
Dave, he has very good sources, and he just kind of tells it as it is and gets to the point.
Jason Ross.
He has a lot of pretty smart things to say. He's good at what he does.
On Sactown Sports.
What you snacking on, Jason?
It's a little breakfast burrito over there.
Look at you.
Yeah.
That's different.
Yeah.
You don't usually bring breakfast burritos to
I don't.
homemade.
Yeah.
Homemade.
No, not homemade. It was a Costco trip yesterday. And I went, yeah, I'll give those a whirl.
Costco, where you go to save money and you end up spending $500.
You know what? It was the first for me. I felt heroic. I got out of there less than 100.
You did not.
Which is a miracle.
That honestly is
5 items.
Now, I'm a Sam's Club guy. Do they have the thing at Costco? Because my favorite thing about going to Sam's, I'll go with my wife. I'm not allowed to touch anything because I'm like, TVs. She's like, no. But they have on the app the little scan, so you can scan on your phone the stuff that you put in the cart, and then you can just roll right out when you're done. You just pay off your phone.
Oh, if they do, I do not utilize
If they
that.
do, trust me. It's so fun to scan stuff. And then you put it in the cart, and then all you got to do is swipe and pay, and then you just go through and they look at your receipt and check it because it's
Where do you get the receipt? Oh, from your phone.
from your phone.
Yeah.
It's a barcode, and they
Got
scan it, and then they'll do a spot check to make
Yeah.
sure you weren't shoplifting
Sure.
stuff, and then you're out. You don't have to wait in the big long line.
Oh, man, I'm out of cash.
Thing is, though, is occasionally we'll be on the fifth aisle, and I look down.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God, $180.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I'm out of cash.
We've just begun.
Yeah, well, that's a lot of toilet paper.
Yeah, it is.
Well, anyways, 4-down territory time, if you would, please, Christopher Lod.
I would.
First down.
Is Jerry Jones making the right move by bringing back Mike McCarthy?
This is such a waffle-ass answer here, but time will tell. Look,
Right.
36 wins in 3 years is pretty damn good, but they're not getting over it in the playoffs. Personally, I would have thanked Mike for his service, and I would have brought in, if I could, I would have brought in a Belichick. I would have I would have called Mike Tomlin just to do it. And if there's the ability to do that, then great.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Time will tell, because if they turn around and they could be having a conversation, sure, I'm glad we stuck with Mike.
I honestly don't think Mike McCarthy's a bad coach.
I don't either.
But this is going to bring up way more scrutiny. I think the easier thing, which is honestly surprising, I think it would have been to remove him, like you said, and today have a press conference for Belichick, Harbaugh, Pete Carroll, Mike Tomlin. Pick your name where it would have been, oh, wow, the Cowboys are making a bold move. And you know what? They could have lost in the first round again next year. I mean, it's an inexact science. I think McCarthy's better than a lot of coaches, but they're leaving themselves wide open for scrutiny.
Yeah, which Jerry Jones doesn't have an issue with.
Yeah.
Second, dear.
The point spread for Saturday's Packers and 49ers game is San Francisco by 9. Too little, too much, or just right?
I want to be clear that I'm answering this purely as a radio host and not as a 49er fan. I'm removing all 49er faniness from me, and therefore I cannot be responsible for any karmic issues that happen. I actually think it's a couple points low. I mean, honestly, when you look at the performance, when you look at the Packers, and granted that the Packers have gotten red hot, but you have to ask the question, was that win, how much of that was the Packers and how much of that was the Cowboys, if you will? And you look at how they finished it, the big, bright finish they had towards the end of the year. They beat the Panthers by 3. They beat the Vikings, who were on their 12th quarterback, and they beat the Bears at home. Prior to that, they got boat raced by the Bucks, and they lost to the New York Giants. So on paper, to me, this is and we'll get into this tomorrow, but this is like a 38-13. If I'm just being an NFL fan, it's like a 38-13 win for the Niners. As a Niner fan, my God, is that a high point spread? Should be more like pick'em. Maybe Niners 1.5.
Yeah. I think it's a tad too low as well, because Vegas does this to try to get people to bet. I feel like 10 would make everybody go.
Yeah.
I want to bet on the 10. Yeah. They need to be a touchdown and a field goal, and then one more point better than them. 9 feels like, oh yeah, money goes to the Niners to me on that. Just so I feel like it's actually just a point to them.
Yeah, I think we're about right. We're on the same page there. But honestly, way too high. Jeez, it's a playoff.
Every single thing that every fan does at home or at the stadium makes a direct impact in the game.
Let's kick it.
Yeah.
They're down.
The Falcons have interviewed both Jim Harbaugh and Bill Belichick. Is Atlanta a great job?
I'm still laughing that they've also done like a big Twitter graphic. So interviewed Jim Harbaugh. Like, I've never seen that before. But that's a respectable job. Yeah. I actually like Arthur Blank, the owner of the Falcons.
You don't want to say his name.
It's a bad one.
Really?
Like half laughing at your joke and I'm half laughing at him. I think he's a good owner. I think he's a guy that generally will support his coaches. No, I don't think it's one of the better. It's not like Atlanta's teaming with all this crazy talent.
But to get those two, that's high profile.
I agree. If I'm Harbaugh and I'm Belichick, I probably have my pick of the litter. And we still aren't done yet.
Yeah.
Is it a great job? No. Is it
like it's an open division at the moment, but no great quarterback?
No. We agree. All right, 4th down, please.
If the Chiefs won another Super Bowl, what would that do for the legacies of Mahomes, Kelsey, and Reed?
And Taylor?
I mean, extend their already amazing legacies to even better. Look, Patrick Mahomes is on pace to challenge Tom Brady, but there's ways to go there. I don't know how many years Travis Kelce has left, but I put the over/under 1.5, maybe 2.5.
It'd help Reed. Not that he needs it; he's got a couple, but
yeah,
he started getting that third.
Now you're getting up in that upper echelon. 3 Super Bowl championships.
Racking up
almost there with
wins.
Philly. Racking up the wins. I think right now. Well, let's put it this way: they're all 3 first ballot Hall of Famers.
Yeah, I mean, if Mahomes got a third with 1 Super Bowl loss too, and knowing how much career is left, I mean, the obviously the GOAT conversations are already happening.
Yes, and it's going to get a lot louder.
Yeah,
a lot louder GOAT bleating.
Yeah,
if you will, bleating.
Yeah. Did you just gild my lily?
I gilded it. All right, we'll take a break here. When we come back, Niners at 9. We're going to go back and look at some of these past matchups. But first, who's hot, who's not?
Mm-hmm.
We got a 3 in the key for tonight, Kings Pacers. And Jason, and Chris, I've got NBA trivia for you.
Oh,
I've got NBA trivia that a listener provided.
Oh, I like trivia.
And I actually like this. This is a fun one.
How do you think we're going to do? Is it one question?
It is one question. It's one question with multiple answers required. And I think you guys are actually going to get it. I think it'll take a second, but I think you'll process through and you'll do quite well. So we'll take a break. Everybody can play along at home. We'll do that when we come back. And as we drive towards the end of the program, just an hour and 15 minutes left. And as you know, we drive in our brand new Hoblet vehicles because, my goodness, it's the Start Something New sales event. Chrysler's bringing to Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. The end of the era. The Charger and Challengers are no more. The gas-powered edition. See ya. It's the last chance to get your hands on some American muscle with that iconic V8 powered. Now it's time to buy because you get $7,000 off MSRP and 0% financing for 72 months on new 2023 Dodge Charger SXTs and Challenger GTs. Yeah, you don't want to see the end of an era, but look, when they're gone, they're gone. See the full selection when you search, select, and save at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period. Who's hot, who's not? NBA trivia, 3 in the key, all coming up. Stuff.
Sunday on Sactown Sports, 2 more teams will punch their tickets to the conference championships. The Detroit Lions get another home game as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Then it's Mahomes versus Allen as the Chiefs battle the Bills in Buffalo.
Bucks and Lions Sunday at noon, followed by Chiefs and Bills at 3:30.
Get all your NFL playoff action on your home of Super Bowl 58. Sactown Sports and Sactownsports.com.
Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, not only do we have a great selection of pre-owned certified cars at very fair prices, but every one of our pre-owned automobiles are treated with kid gloves with a 182-point inspection that covers everything from unibody to tires to brakes and engine filters. Then our certified cars receive a mobile oil change and fresh fill-up with full synthetic mobile oil. We know you have lots of choices of where to purchase your next car. Come to Elk Grove Honda, home of the 182-point inspection and mobile oil change. We're in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 at Elk Grove Boulevard.
Beachhead Deli on 711 K Street is now your place to go in downtown Sacramento prior to all the games, concerts, and events. Conveniently located just across the street from the arena, Beachhead Deli features the finest gourmet sandwiches and craft beverages anywhere. Beachhead Deli at 711 K Street is also your premier lunch destination 7 days a week. Come by and say hi to new owner Brad Wakai. He's so excited to take care of all your taste bud needs. That's Beachhead Deli at 711 K Street in Sacramento.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at folsomlakeford.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit.
What's hot and what's not. Brought to you by American Energy Heat and Air, making the uncomfortable comfortable. Head to AmericanEnergyAir.com to find out more.
What's hot?
Yeah, hot. Real hot. And what's not?
It's not good. Brought to you by American Energy Heating and Air, Sacramento's complete heating and cooling company, and second opinion partner.
Dare I ask?
You can.
Who's hot? Who's hot?
Sorry, I gotta get the YouTube up real quick.
Ooh, and how do you do that, Chris?
Ew.
Whisper nips here.
Jamal Sheehan from Houston basketball.
What did he do?
Cougars. What did he do?
Yeah.
He was 29 and 10 last night in the game, but let me tell you a little bit more about his numbers. He's the only Division I player in the last 25 years to score 25 plus points, dish out 10 assists or more, shoot 75% from the field, shoot 60% from the three, and shoot 100% from the line. That all happened last night.
Wow.
That's pretty good.
That makes him hot.
Can I give you a bonus who's hot? Because it just came across the time the bottom line.
Yeah.
Good.
The Boston Celtics at home.
Still perfect.
20-0.
Closest to losing when the Pistons had
That's a
him there.
respectable job.
Yeah.
Pistons had him too, man. Remember what was it? It was one of those 80s Celtics teams.
It was 40-1.
They were 40-1 at home. Interesting. Have we ever had an undefeated home record?
Kings?
Oh, that's right. Back in 1990. Yeah. Who's not?
Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott.
He didn't play yesterday.
He's tied for the worst playoff win percentage in NFL history with players playing more than 5 games. He's got a .286 winning percentage, going 2-5. He's tied with Alex Smith and Billy Kilmer.
Oh.
I'm curious. What is Tony Romo's? Because Tony played in 6 games in the playoffs.
What did he do?
Why do I feel like he lost all of them? I know he did. Oh, no, he didn't. I think he has 2 wins.
So 2-4 is better than 2-5.
But wow, combined 4-9 for your 2 big franchise quarterbacks not named Troy Aikman or Danny White or Roger Staubach.
God, I really wanted to see how the rest of that play would have worked out for Zeke Elliott last year.
Zeke Elliott.
Pulling guard.
I want to see that play in practice and when it worked.
Okay, remember when we ran this? Yeah, it was when everybody was in shorts and nobody was trying.
Nobody was in shape.
Yeah.
It was 104 outside. Everyone was done running. All right. Trivia time.
Tony Romo had a .333 record.
Okay.
Much better.
Well, that was far better. Remember when he messed up the hold against the Seahawks?
I do.
It was fun. All right. This is courtesy of, I don't know who he is, but one of our longtime texters.
You believe the question is accurate?
I do. I checked it.
Okay.
And there's a question that there might be an extra one we're missing, but that'll make sense later. So things I think about at 3 a.m. There are 4 teams in the NBA that don't come right out and tell us what city they play in.
Golden State.
Golden State is 1.
Indiana Pacers.
The Indiana Pacers are 2.
Minnesota Timberwolves.
That is 3.
Utah.
That is 4. So the question is, you guys nailed it. Question is this. Do the Washington Wizards count?
Oh.
Because that's what he and I were kind of going back and forth with. Because
they're in Washington, right?
They're in Maryland.
Are they?
I think. Unless they moved. I thought they were in
D.C.?
Yeah, they're in D.C.
Yeah, they're in
Are
downtown
they?
D.C. Yeah, they are.
There's talk about a new arena that
Moving
would
out.
be.
Yeah.
Oh, well, if they're actually in, they play in the Chinatown neighborhood of Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
You're right. Okay, so they do not count. All right.
The former Pistons, wouldn't that be? Because they were in Auburn Hills.
Yeah, they were in Auburn Hills. Well, that's the thing. Like, we start getting into suburbs. Like, is Dallas in Dallas, or are they still in, like, oh, no, that's the Rangers are in Arlington. There's got to be another team that plays in a suburb. But the team name says the city on it.
Of those 4, which one would make the most sense to change?
I think the Golden State Warriors
San Francisco,
is dumb.
especially now that they're San Francisco.
Like Minnesota, I get because there's no other basketball team in Minnesota.
Also, I'm guessing it's because they're close to St. Paul and Minneapolis.
What?
Right?
St. Paul Wolves?
Yeah, or Minneapolis Wolves.
Salt Lake Jazz.
I mean, again, that's the thing. There's no other basketball teams in Utah. Those make sense to me.
What was the 4th?
Utah, Indiana.
Oh, Indiana.
Minnesota. Yeah, the same thing in Indiana. But
Indianapolis.
But in California, there's 4 basketball teams.
Only 1 basketball team in Louisiana.
Louisiana Pelicans? I wouldn't hate that.
Actually, I would like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate that. Lou Pell. You guys got that trivia question a little easy.
A little surprisingly easy.
I know I've asked you this before, but let's just see how well you do memory wise. Because again, audience is playing along too. Rise guys get credit for this one. In 1977,
I'm out.
There were a total of 4 rookies of the year awarded in baseball, basketball, and football. 3 of the 4 rookies of the year, and LAL, and then basketball and football. 3 of the 4 rookies of the year had the initials AD. Can you name them? And you know all these names.
Do I?
Yeah.
I know all the names.
You do.
Adrian Dantley.
Correct.
Oh, yeah.
You didn't know Adrian Dantley?
I've never heard of Adrian Dantley in my life.
Are you serious? What?
The 1977, I don't even know what sport you're talking about.
Basketball. Adrian Dantley is one of the greatest.
Baseball, football, basketball, right?
Yeah, so so you got the basketball one. That's
Andre Dawkins.
Andre Dawson?
Dawson.
Is that right?
That's correct. That's 2. These are the 2 that everybody always gets. This is a tricky one.
I know the trick one from football.
Well, that's the 3rd one.
But I don't know. Oh, there's only 3?
There's only 3.
Oh,
Adrian Dieterson.
Anthony Dorsett.
Anthony, better known as Tony Dorsett. Yeah. I'm shook that Chris did not know Adrian Dantley and also those said Andre Dawkins. I mean, I get it.
Close. Because they called him the Hawk.
The Hawk.
Yeah.
Because Andre Dawkins.
Daryl's brother.
I really am. We got to do, you know what? Adrian Dantley's still with us, isn't he?
I believe so.
Yeah, he should be.
One of the great scorers in NBA history.
One of the great scorers.
I bet. Okay, let's look him up. Where is he in the top 30?
Oh, God.
I'm going to say he's like 18. It's a guess.
I'm going to give you, I think you're right.
I think he's a top. There's people, like Westbrook, and I saw a graphic the other day, like Westbrook, Harden, they're in the top. They're all moving up here. We've had KD and others move up. So I don't know. I'll put him in the top 20.
2-time NBA scoring champ.
His last game was when I was 6.
Well, yeah, and the Beatles, come on. We know our history. It's not like you're like, oh, George Washington, who's that? That wasn't alive.
Who has brought up? This is the first time I've ever heard
Dawson.
No.
Adrian
Dantley brought up.
I'm not saying you're wrong necessarily, but
I was surprised.
You know who Fat Lever is?
He used to call the games.
Well, okay.
He cursed on a game-winning call.
Yes, he did. He also had, actually, it was a caller he used.
Don't do that.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Still the funniest thing ever uttered on this station. Okay, it's in it's Mount Rushmore.
Yeah. He played for the Buffalo Braves?
That's when he started.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
6-time all. Do you know who Wilt Chamberlain is? Do you know who Bill Russell is? Historical players.
Yeah, like the people that they retire their numbers for every single team.
His numbers retired for the Jazz. Mr. Basketball USA in 73. He's a 6-time All-Star. Comeback Player of the Year in 84. Indeed, Adrian Dantley. 1, 2, 3, 4 consecutive seasons, he averaged above 30 points a game. Chris, I think you should know these things. All right.
Did you look? I'm gonna look up NBA all time.
Oh, I'm sorry. No, I didn't. Are you doing that?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we got to get to 3 in the key.
Let's see where he is.
Frank says, I was such a big fan of Adrian Dantley that when they traded him for Mark Aguirre, I was very, very sad. Eh?
Mark Aguirre played for the A's. We all know that.
Oh, he's not in the top 20.
You're so stupid. Adrian Dantley would fit in really well on the Kings. I don't disagree with that. I mean, not now.
Why not?
He might struggle. Did you find it?
He's not in the top 25.
Really?
Do we have time for 3 in the key? Or do
Quickly.
we have? Okay, 3 in the key. Brought to you by Adrian Dantley. We're now an Adrian Dantley hive.
Here we are.
We will have no disrespect. The original, by the way, the original AD.
Good point.
They didn't even call athletic directors ADs until Adrian Dantley came along. 3 in the key, Jason Ross. What are we doing here?
For tonight, because he's playing his former team, Domantas Sabonis. We want a stat line: points, rebounds, assists.
Domantas Sabonis. Give me. Wait, hold on. Who's the starting center for them?
Miles.
Miles Turner. Domantas Sabonis will have. Give me 18, 13, and 8.
Oh, wow, I'm close with you. 16, 11, and 8. Chris?
14, 12, 11.
Oh, tripped up. Okay, Dave, since he's playing his former team, Buddy Hield, points and made 3-pointers.
4 3-pointers, 14 points.
Oh, man.
What? Is that?
I have exactly the same.
Okay.
So we're going to be right, 14 and 4.
7 and 2.
Okay.
7 3-pointers, only 2 points? That's weird.
Dave, random stat.
I want it to be. Buddy Hield will also have 3 turnovers. And I don't get it unless I nail it. Because I know that's kind of a weird one.
It's got to be right on.
It's got to be right on. That's the rule.
Okay.
At least 3 turnovers.
He had 0 technicals going into that classic game he got tossed. He's just going to get 1. Mike Brown.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're just emptying his pockets.
I am. No, just a T. He's not getting tossed.
Just a T.
Just a technical. Chris?
There will be video of Tyrese Haliburton crying.
That's not a random
Tears
stat.
will be coming
That's
from his
like
eyes
you wouldn't let me do the Domantas thing. That's not a random stat. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, Niners at 9, the 10th playoff matchup ever between the Niners and Green Bay Packers. We'll talk about that next.
The Kings return home Thursday night to G1C as Domantas Sabonis faces his former team.
What a pass and what placement from Sabonis.
It's the Kings and Pacers Thursday at 7 on Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Cordell. Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
500 Capitol Mall, Suite 2060, Sacramento, California, 95814. CordellCordell.com.
Paid for by Cordell and Cordell. Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie bundles.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Ew, gotta get rid of this old Backstreet Boys t-shirt.
Tell me why.
Because it stinks, boys.
Tell me why.
I've washed it so many times, but the odor won't come out.
Tell me why.
No, you tell me why I can't get rid of this odor.
Have you tried Downy Rinse and Refresh? It doesn't just cover up odors. It helps remove them.
Wow, it worked, guys.
Yeah.
Downy Rinse and Refresh removes more odor in 1 wash than the leading value detergent in 3 washes. Find it wherever you buy laundry products.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack, but not with ZipRecruiter. Its powerful technology actively finds and invites qualified candidates to apply to your job. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
We're going abroad for the first time in years. To Spain.
But we don't speak Spanish.
So we started using Babbel.
And started learning Spanish fast.
With Babbel, you can start having conversations in another language in just 3 weeks. Babbel's conversational method teaches you real-life words and phrases. And with Babbel's interactive bite-sized lessons, you'll remember what you learned.
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿Cómo te llamas?
¿De dónde eres?
¿De dónde eres?
When you learn a language, you want to actually use it. Babbel is designed with that goal in mind.
In just 3 weeks, we're starting to have conversations in Spanish.
Estoy muy emocionado para ir a España contigo.
Aww. He just said, I'm very excited to go to Spain with you. Vamos a tener mucha diversión.
And that means we're going to have so much fun.
Sí. Gracias, Babbel.
Babbel, language for life. Celebrating 10 million subscriptions sold. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton & Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton & Price in your corner. When you call Ashton & Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real-life person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
No look, Bibby to Weber down the lane, flying jam. There's your play of the night right there. It's inside is Sabonis, a two-hand rip, a brilliant pass from De'Aaron Fox.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Sactown Sports.
The The Carmichael Dave Show.
He's on the microphone when he's not on the microphone. He's playing a song, and when he's not playing a song, he's on the microphone, and then boom.
With Jason Ross.
No, he didn't. Yes, he did.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on Sactown Sports.
Chris passing along from Sam that Pascal Siakam wants a full-term max deal. Indiana looks like they're on board. That'd be a 5-year, $247 million contract. And I mean, that's, in a different world, a slightly different world, that's about the Kings. And now you're looking at, with Fox's max extension coming up, you're looking at the better part of $750 million around those guys. As you said earlier, the real question there is that a championship team? Because it better be.
Right.
Because otherwise you're coming from a fan base that just experienced 16 straight years of losing. When I say the Dame era Blazers, I'm not saying that as a pejorative. That's great, but just know that you're going to be that team that's almost there, but not there.
Yeah, and I think there's, some differences. I think we've seen some organizations, Joe Lacob has done it, and part of their success too. We got to be honest. Look, they've drafted well, they've developed well, they've done all that, but they paid. They paid for it, and literally paid for it. So I don't think we've seen Vivek in this spot yet, Dave, and I don't know that I would consider him, like, if they were in a position, would he pinch the pennies and go, we can't do that? I don't think so, but I don't know. I mean, until you're put in that spot where, hey, look, you can sign player X, and it's probably going to put you in a cap tax, and that's the decisions we all can go, sure, do it. Well, it's not our money.
So is that close to $500 million for him and Haliburton?
Yeah. Oof. That is just about $500 million.
And if you were to guess, do you think Indiana's winning a title?
I don't either.
But
they need.
This seems like a cash grab.
I will say this about Vivek. I think lately, he's having a pretty good run. I've said before, owners are a little bit like players. They come in as rookies. They do dumb things. They're new. Almost every new owner, whether it's Vivek Ranadive, Matt Ishbia, Mark Cuban back in the day, they all do silly stuff. Yeah. And Vivek seems to have settled in. But even in the days where a guy like me was incredibly unhappy with Vivek and was looking for things, one thing I will say, I have never, not one time ever heard anyone say Vivek turned down this contract because of the money. I've never heard anything about him. Say what you want. I've never heard that. And that includes giving DeMarcus the Supermax, which he was way in favor of. And it was Vivek that really prevented DeMarcus from being traded earlier than he was on a couple of occasions. I've never heard him put the thumbs down on anything money related. So, I mean, track record. Then again, I don't know that he's ever been in a position where he has to go out.
Right, exactly.
And that's kind of where they're at.
Closer to that.
Getting very close. All right. Niners, Packers, 5:15 Saturday. That game is on Fox.
What's the weather for that? I know we got some rain this weekend.
Yeah. Looks like it could be rain. That's what I had heard yesterday as well, which, I mean, rain better than snow. I don't know. Is rain better than snow? Maybe not. That's an interesting question.
You know what? I mean, my experience from other, like Sac State and other people, like quarterbacks complain more about the wind.
Yeah.
The wet football, there's an adjustment, but wind can really impact things.
Well, according to iPhone weather, it looks like Saturday there is a 75% chance of rain, a high of 59, low of 53. So it's going to be slip sliding away.
Yeah, I hope it doesn't. I mean, obviously it's going to impact the game. I hope it's not a difference.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. Because things can get a little bit slippery.
Yeah.
Guys can, have difficulty cutting. You wonder how it would affect a guy like Deebo Samuel, who relies so much on that quick twitch, change of pace and all that. But then also you look at the fact that, hey, if we're playing in a sloppy rain game, I'm glad we have Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, true.
That being said, Aaron Jones is not Christian McCaffrey, but he ain't nothing to shake a stick at either.
Yeah.
This is a guy that is also built for a wet weather game.
They ran really well against Dallas. And if you can establish a run in any game, that's the key. And, when we talked to Matt Barrows earlier this week, he said, yeah, look, you got Cologne coaches here in Shanahan and LaFleur that want to run the ball and disguise their pass game. So I think we're going to see a lot of that and try to have things that look the same, but you're not quite sure what play they're running.
Aaron Jones has a knee and a finger issue. He was a limited participant in yesterday's practice. Also, A.J. Dillon, neck and thumb, was sidelined Wednesday, according to the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. So, and that's it. When they're going, that's a very potent two-way punch right there. These guys seem to play each other every other year.
Yeah, it's the most now in playoff history, 10 times.
10 times. And you go back, and Jason, credit to you on doing the research here as always. You look at the quarterbacks in the playoff series history. You had 95, you had Favre and Young. In 96, Favre and Young, Gerback came in.
Yeah.
I believe Young got injured.
Young got hurt early.
Favre and Young again in 97 and 98. So that's 95, 96, 97, 98. 4 straight years of Favre and Young. 2001, so a big 3 years later. Favre and Garcia. And then they didn't play for 11 years. Then you had Colin Kaepernick come in to take on Aaron Rodgers, and really the high point of Colin Kaepernick. I think his career was what did he have, 181 yards rushing in one of those, and just absolutely came out and beat the Packers. 19 and 21, Rodgers versus Jimmy G, and this year it's Jordan Love and Brock Purdy.
Yeah, the weird thing is, so from 95 to 2021, it was Favre and Rodgers. That's it. That's all they had. I mean, what a legacy to have if you're Green Bay. And I know there's not that many quarterbacks listed for the Niners there, but really from 01 to 12, when you got from Garcia to Kaepernick, boy, you went through a lot of different things there if you're the 49ers as far as trying to find QBs to run this franchise. And the odd thing is, Rodgers and Jimmy G could have still been the matchup this year. Green Bay moved on from Rodgers. The 49ers moved on from Jimmy G. It probably would have felt like this should have been Trey Lance. And now here it is, Brock Purdy. So, and good for Jordan Love to kind of, I think that's a tough spot to get in. He's the guy that's gotten better as the year's gone on, because he was okay to start the year, but there was a lot of concern. Is this really the next great Packer quarterback? And he's played well at the end of the year.
He's on pace. I mean, when you look at his numbers versus Aaron Rodgers' record, not necessarily age-wise, although I think that's also pretty close as well. He's right there with Aaron, and they're obviously here in the playoffs in the second round. I'm a little surprised by this, and because I am a lifelong Niner fan, but just off the top of my head, I'm like, God, I can't even trying to remember the last time the Packers beat the Niners in the playoffs. Well, you do have to go all the way back to 2002, 25-15. Brett Favre, 269 passing yards and a couple of touchdowns. The Pack also won the first 3 against San Francisco, so that's why they're 5-4 all time. But the Niners are on a 4-game winning streak against Green Bay.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Niners are favored. We talked about that earlier. They're the 1 seed. They're at home. They've got way more to lose in this game. I don't think that makes Green Bay any more dangerous. I don't think they're going to play reckless in a sense like, hey, we have nothing to lose. I think, they're obviously coming here trying to win, but I don't look at it as a team like that'll go for every 4th down. They're just going to try to capitalize on, to me, the games, Dave, that the Niners have lost, they've made mistakes. They've either been injured or made mistakes. If the Niners play close to mistake-free, they're moving on. They're moving on to the NFC Championship game.
Last year, 2022, Niners won 13-10 in the divisional round. That was at Lambeau Field.
Yeah, that snow game.
Yeah, 37-20 in 2020. That was at Levi's Stadium. 23-20, and that, by the way, that was the NFC Championship. 23-20, that was the wild card. That was at Lambeau in 2014. And then 45-31, the Niners beat them in the divisional at Candlestick Park. And then I believe that was the year they went on to face the Ravens, if I remember correctly, in the big power outage.
That's right.
Game. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, quick break here, just 1 minute. Let's look at the Kings and Pacers tonight, and the similarities between these teams, including what Indiana is about to do to take Sacramento out of the record books. We'll talk about that next.
No teams have faced each other more in playoff history than the San Francisco 49ers and the Green Bay Packers. That record-setting 10th meeting is Saturday night as the top seed 49ers look to move to the NFC Championship, while Green Bay is seeking their second consecutive upset.
Join Greg Papa and Tim Ryan for the call Saturday at 5:15 on your home for the San Francisco 49ers, Sactown Sports.
San Francisco!
This is Monster Jam. Witness big air, two-wheel skills, backflips, and all-out racing. It's the only place to see the world's best drivers tear up the dirt in your favorite Monster Jam trucks, like Gravedigger, El Toro Loco, Megalodon, and more. It's big-time fun for the whole family. Monster Jam, as big as it gets. Coming to Golden One Center, January 26th to the 28th. Brought to you by BKT Tires and Great Clips. Visit monsterjam.com today.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big ol' nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. 2-day GA tickets are on sale now starting at $85, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more information, visit CITPfest.com. Brought to you by Oak Ridge Winery.
Sunday on Sactown Sports, 2 more teams will punch their tickets to the conference championships. The Detroit Lions get another home game as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Then it's Mahomes versus Allen as the Chiefs battle the Bills in Buffalo.
Bucs and Lions Sunday at noon, followed by Chiefs and Bills at 3:30.
Get all your NFL playoff action on your home of Super Bowl 58. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com. They bleed black and purple. It's the Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross on your local sports leader, Sactown Sports.
Greg Papa joins us tomorrow. Friday Fun and Games, too. I'm excited.
It's on.
First in-person Friday Fun and Games we've had in a while. Right?
True.
What was I going to say to you? Oh! Breaking soccer news. Huddersfield Town has signed Radinho Balker. He's a center back joining from Dutch club FC Groningen. Chris, you're the soccer guy here. It's 25. Undisclosed fee. It's big news for Huddersfield Town.
I don't know who he is.
Okay. Well,
back to you.
What's the team?
It's from he's here from he's coming over from Dutch side FC Groningen. Groningen. He's got to clear international waters and
yeah, of course.
Get his visa. He's 6'3", though. You know?
Yeah, Brexit's really screwing up transfers.
They really are. By the way, shout out to Aer Lingus, man. You go through Dublin. If anyone's going to Europe ever, you go through Dublin and they do all your customs there. Took like 2 minutes.
Really?
And then when I landed in San Francisco, I was a domestic passenger. So I just walk off the plane like a Southwest.
Wait, what?
So you go through the Aer Lingus, the Irish national airline. They have an 11-hour straight shot to Dublin out of San Francisco and back. And when you hit Dublin, they do customs. They do there's like a little U.S. flag, and they point you in a certain direction, and you go through you do all your custom stuff right there. Whole process took like 5 minutes both ways. And then when you land in England or wherever you're going, or when you land back here, you land as a domestic passenger. You've already cleared customs. You're already done. And then you just walk, get your bag. Or in my case, I tell you guys this, did I tell you my bag exploded?
You sure you cleared customs?
So I had I have one of those.
Not something you want to say on a flight.
Okay, let me clear. Thank you, Chris. My bag was so full that it blew the zippers out because when my bag came off the treadmill what do you call it?
Conveyor belt.
Conveyor belt. Thank you. At SFO.
Carousel.
Thank you. It had. I mean, this is a true story. I'm sure that they had actually put little
straps,
like clicky straps around it and tightened them up, because at some point my bag, when I was packing, because I always come back with more than I go there with, I was like, it was out of a commercial. Like I was on my bed sitting on it, like sitting on the bag trying to mush everything in while I'm zipping everything up. And I finally got it zipped. But then, yeah. And so I found myself thinking, first off, did they get all my stuff back in? And then secondly, like, you know.
Have you found things missing?
Well, you come back, not that I know of, but you come back from a trip and like, you know, I got 10 days worth of dirty laundry in there. So my question is this: at some point was like my dirty underwear splayed all over Ireland?
Splayed.
And they had to pack it back in, and were they wearing gloves?
Oh, I'm not getting paid enough to strap this back in.
That's
Irish Spring.
Wow, was that the actual?
Yes, that was footage.
Audio. Really good Irish accents. So there you go. Kings Pacers tonight. Hopefully no
potato.
Indiana's on pace to absolutely shatter Sacramento's record-setting offense from a year ago. But here's the thing with Tyrese Haliburton, they were averaging $127 a game since the injury. 113 points per game.
That's a big difference. 14-point drop in the 4 games that he's been out.
Well, you know, I mean, I mean, it shows he makes a little bit of a difference on the floor. He really has thriven in Indiana with
thriven.
Thriven. And I don't look. I want him to do well. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want them to win any championships. Here's the thing. Is this fair? They're 23-17. They're the 7 seed. The Kings are 23-17. They're the 6 seed.
Okay.
I want the Pacers to do well, but like a couple games behind the Kings and not to go further than them in the playoffs.
Fair.
Like I'm rooting for Tyrese and the Pacers. That's fine. I don't have any reason to dislike
You're
them.
not really rooting for them.
No, I'm not rooting against them. I just don't want that. I want their ceiling to be
below the Kings.
Below the Kings.
Yes. Yeah. There you go.
I think that's fair. Bench scoring, Indiana leading the NBA in bench scoring. And by the way, Jason, with the massive amount of so many Willodies this year, worst loss of the year, that it could be sponsored, as we said earlier.
We're having trouble keeping track.
Yeah, we're having a lot of trouble keeping track. I had to write it down. The Kings have their best record through 40 games since the 04-05 season, and they have not lost 4 in a row since the first 4 of last season. Right. If they lose tonight,
that's 4.
That's 4 in a row.
Yeah.
And with 2 home games tonight and versus Atlanta, who they just dispatched on the road on this last trip in the beginning. Is tonight a must win? No. But it's a, what do we call it? What is it if it's not a must win, but it's
must have?
Must have.
Do we just do different
semantics?
semantics?
Is that what we did? They need to win tonight.
Want to get?
It's less about look, Indiana coming in and Tyrese, whatever, whether he plays or not, that's super cute. Yay. I need to see some meat out of these guys, dude. I need to see them just buck up and I want to see this team. Honestly, I want to see this team come out play a little angry.
Yeah, that'd be good. And I like the way they did that, honestly, to Phoenix after the disappointing loss to Milwaukee. Now we all know how Phoenix ended, though. So that's the last thing we saw. How do they respond to that?
Gentlemen, I'd like for you to, we're going to play a game here where we're all going to say the answer at the same time. I want for you to tell me what the lead needs to be halfway through the 4th quarter for you to actually feel comfortable. And if your answer so far is there, I would not feel, well, no, at some point there's a number. Come up with that number and everyone play along at home. At the 6-minute mark of the 4th quarter, what would be the number where you're comfortable and like already thinking about the next game and putting this in as a win? Everyone got their number in their head? Do you?
Mm-hmm.
You?
Yes.
All right. So on the count of 3, we're all going to say it. 1, 2, 3.
18. Did Chris and I say the same number?
You did. You both said 18. And you know what's really weird? I was deciding between, not 19, I was deciding between 18 and 20. That would have been a great moment if we'd all said 18. Damn it. That halfway through the fourth at home against a probable Tyrese Haliburton and Pascal Siakam-less Indiana Pacers, and we're talking about 18 to 20 points to feel comfortable with 6 minutes left. That's where we're at. That's where we're at.
Honestly, my answer would probably be 18, though, if it's the Eastern Conference All-Stars.
Meaning it doesn't matter how even.
Yeah. Or a G League team. I
mean,
that's
what I'm saying. Like, would that number still be the same against the Pistons at home?
Yeah.
18?
Probably.
Really? I feel like it would be maybe lower. No.
Maybe.
That's where we're at, though, with this team, man. Like, they're just.
Would you think it's over, conversely, if the Kings are down 18 with 6 to go?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. I think it'd be over. The Kings are down 12 with 6 to go. I'd pack it in.
I sure thought about the Kings. That's the way you look at them.
Pack it in. And you know what, though? What I've also found about this team is when I think they're going to zig, they zag.
Yeah.
So they'll probably, you know what? They're probably going to be down 12 tonight with 6 minutes left and win by 18. And there's a very fun, interesting, neato concept that's started to come in with this team this year, and that is this. If they win by 18 tonight, there's going to be a tiny little part of me that says, where was this against Charlotte? If they come back tonight, as they're coming back, let's say they are down 12, and they cut it to 2 with like a minute left, I'm going to be getting progressively angry at the idea that they're going to bring us all the way back into the game and then blow it in the end. In other words, no matter what they do, I'm probably going to be pissed off at them a little bit.
Lodi.
That's not healthy.
My favorite bit is you getting upset with something that hasn't happened.
Yeah.
You're like right now?
Yeah.
But like
the stupid team going to be down by 16 but end up winning.
Don't you know?
God.
Don't you know that that's going to happen tonight, though? Don't you just know? I mean, seriously. And you know what? They're going to be down like 16 at one point. And honestly, Buddy Hield's going to be having a heater. Just going to be having a heater. And he's be like gesturing at the crowd.
That could be a Walodi if Buddy hits a game winner.
Oh, why do you even put that in the atmosphere?
What if Buddy hits the game winner and he jumps up on the scorer's table and does the chop, the crotch chop?
But then Moke pushes him off.
What would you rather have? De'Aaron Fox game winner or Buddy Hield game losing air ball?
Game winner. Because there'd be a moment when Buddy had the ball and shooting, even if you were on the right angle, you're like,
But if De'Aaron Fox hits the game winner, that also means the Kings were down, likely.
Yes.
What if it was tied?
Okay, if it's tied, De'Aaron Fox game.
So you know at worst you're going to overtime.
Yeah.
You don't even want the celebrate. You don't want that?
Oh, there'd be a big time celebration if Buddy Hield airballed the 3.
But a bigger bigger celebration if the Kings hit a game winner.
Yeah, like Tyreek Evans.
It would be different reactions. It would be like celebration. If Buddy missed it, it would be like laughter.
But then going into tomorrow, the whole thing, like De'Aaron Fox hits a game winner, and the whole thing tomorrow, all I'm thinking is you should not be in a position to need a game winner at home against the Indiana Pacers without Haliburton and Siakam. Coming off of that loss against the Suns, where's your heart? A 20-point blowout for one of the teams. We'll take a break when we come back. What to watch tonight and more. We got some stuff to recap. And then crosstalk with Styles and Watkins. We'll do all that next.
Sunday on Sactown Sports, 2 more teams will punch their tickets to the conference championships. The Detroit Lions get another home game as they host the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Then it's Mahomes versus Allen as the Chiefs battle the Bills in Buffalo.
Bucs and Lions Sunday at noon, followed by Chiefs and Bills at 3:30.
Get all your NFL playoff action on your home of Super Bowl 58. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I could not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
The 49ers Report, brought to you by EB Stone. EB Stone, for the life of your garden. The Red and Gold seem to be as healthy as ever entering their first playoff game this weekend, using the first round bye to their advantage. Running back Christian McCaffrey returned to practice Tuesday, taking the last 2 weeks off to rest an injured calf. Additionally, Sacramento native Eric Armstead is back practicing with the team and expects to play in his first game since Week 13. San Francisco opens their 2024 postseason against Green Bay, fresh off a dominant win over Dallas.
Welcome to New Year with EB Stone, your go-to for indoor gardening success. In 2024, enrich your indoor oasis with EB Stone's Indoor Potting Mix, our best premium blend crafted for vibrant growth. Explore our comprehensive range from soil amendments to fertilizers and find everything your indoor garden craves. Nurture new beginnings, cultivate lush landscapes, and witness your dreams unfold. Cheers to a green and thriving new year with EB Stone, the heartbeat of your indoor garden success. Find a location near you for our products and tips at ebstone.org.
The Carmichael Dave Show with Jason Ross.
Call or text at 916-339-1140.
On Sactown Sports.
Reba McEntire singing the national anthem. Post Malone singing the America the Beautiful at the Super Bowl. Is it sacrilege for me to say I think America the Beautiful is a better song than the Star Spangled Banner?
No.
Okay.
Star Spangled Banner is a terrible song.
I mean, and you're not, but we're not talking about, like, we're not getting any of the other stuff about it, right? Like, we're just talking about the song.
Like,
in
it's
general.
just such a hard song.
I totally agree with you. Like, Oh Canada, I think is a better national anthem, just from a musical standpoint.
Yes.
The old USSR one that they sang in
Back in the USSR?
No, remember the one they sang in Hunt for Red October in the submarine?
Or Rocky IV?
Sean Connery was like, let them sing. Like that one. That's actually that was a good one. It's just a weird, unless it's Whitney Houston at the Super Bowl.
Wow. Wait till Reba does it.
Like, look, I ain't got
Reba. See?
I have no problems with Reba McEntire. I like Fancy as much as anyone. It's a good song. And her other hits. But
she's on The Voice.
Yeah. But come on.
She had a TV show.
That's the greatest
What
rendition.
was the name of that game? That show?
Reba.
Oh.
Hey. No one's ever going to touch the Whitney Houston national anthem, right? Like, it's not possible. Is it? Is that just me?
I don't think she would do it, but I think Adele could get up there.
I don't disagree with you. She'd do it well. Maybe part of it was just the whole, like, Persian Gulf thing and the whatever. And You know what I mean, dude? And the fact that she lip synced it doesn't bother me. It happens. You know, Boys to Men do a good national anthem.
See, I think you either have to be like incredibly amazing or do it your own way.
Well, like Marvin Gaye. So Marvin Gaye is off. That's often thought. And like the thing with Marvin Gaye is like how do I say this? Like on a scale of 1 to 10, I give the actual version of it a 7. It was good. It was really good. It was really, really good, and I super enjoyed it. But then it's like a 100 on creativity. Like he took this lame song and made it into something awesome. And Marvin Gaye has the voice of an angel. Had the voice of an angel.
I felt like there was one within the last year or two that somebody was really, really good.
It was a couple years ago.
Well,
good? I thought you were going to say bad.
Well, Chris Stapleton made Nick Sirianni cry.
Yeah.
Chris Stapleton is like,
I thought he was great.
Oh God, his voice is insane. His voice is absolutely insane. And I think I've said this before on the air, but honestly, if you want to have an awesome 8 minutes, if you want to just, if you're a fan of music and you want to just smile for 8 minutes, go on YouTube and search Chris Stapleton, Justin Timberlake. I think it was the CMA Awards. This is a few years ago. And they do a medley, Tennessee Whiskey, and then some other song. Have you seen this?
Oh, yeah. I saw it when it happened.
You saw it when it happened?
It was great.
Oh, how cool is that? You saw that when it happened?
I did.
That's
I was there.
Awesome.
I was singing with them.
That's so cool to see that. It's one thing to go on YouTube. I just saw it. Katie showed it to me like maybe a year ago. I'd never even heard of the whole thing. I was like, oh my God. First off, Chris Stapleton is amazing. Secondly, Justin Timberlake, he's not untalented either.
Yeah. He's got a future.
I actually found myself watching Justin Timberlake. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, God, in another life, like, can I be that guy? Can I be that guy on stage? You know, just good looking, knows how to dance, great voice.
Funny,
incredibly funny.
Likeable.
Arguably one of the greatest SNL people of all time.
Yeah. As a cast member.
As a guest.
Yeah. Guest host.
Is he a 5-time? Does he have the jacket?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm so tired.
Chris hates the jacket.
I hate it.
He hates the jacket bit.
You hate that you're over the jacket bit on SNL?
Because it happens so often now. It happens like 2 times a year now. Like it was funny the first time.
What are you going to do when SNL goes away soon?
It's not going away.
It's not going away. How dare you?
You know who's taking over, don't you?
Who?
Tina Fey.
Is she?
Mm-hmm.
When's Lauren leaving?
Maybe soon. After 50, which is like next year.
Next year.
I think this is the 49th season.
What was the one? What were they celebrating? The one where Eddie Murphy finally came
40.
back? That was 40?
It's almost 10 years ago.
Oh my God. So 50 is just going to be basically everyone alive that had anything to do with SNL. I hope it's
Is Eddie Murphy like I'm trying to think of it. He is like the best person to put in like a bad movie that just elevates it to a whole other level. Or even just like an okay movie.
Okay, it's a great question, but I'm getting preemptively angry because I think you're making Beverly Hills Cop references.
But not even that. Like I was looking at like the on YouTube or it was on Twitter. Someone was showing like clips of Nutty Professor.
Yeah.
And it's just like this, any other person, this would be dumb. It wouldn't be funny. Like maybe
Norbit.
You might be onto it because there was a time where Eddie Murphy was on such a heater that the only movie anyone mentioned was like Best Defense as a clunker for him.
No one talks about Distinguished Gentleman, which is one of my favorite Eddie Murphy movies.
But was that in the later?
It's like early 90s. And I was way too young to have seen that in the movie theater.
The problem is that Eddie Murphy had kids. And then he started doing roles that he thought his kids would want to see. And he took on everything and he wanted to play like 700 characters. Listen to this run. 48 Hours in 82. Banger. Trading Places. Banger. Best Defense. Absolutely not a banger. Beverly Hills Cop. Banger. The Golden Child. Underrated. You didn't like it?
I didn't.
Did you ever see the movie Big Trouble in Little China with Kurt Russell?
Parts of it.
Okay. That's like a great cult classic. And I always felt like those two movies were kind of similar. I'm not saying The Golden Child is one of his greatest. I want the knife. Beverly Hills Cop 2. Then Eddie Murphy Raw. Then Coming to America. And then this is where, okay, then Harlem Nights.
Yep.
And then this is where, so you had Boomerang in 92 following another 48 hours, which should not have happened.
I didn't see that one.
You didn't miss out. Boomerang, Distinguished Gentleman, Beverly Hills Cop 3, Vampire in Brooklyn. And now here we go. Nutty Professor, Metro, Dr. Dolittle, Holy Man, Life. Life was good. Bowfinger.
Bowfinger is hilarious.
Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps. And then you can just tell he's doing everything for his kids. Shrek, Dr. Dolittle, I Spy.
Solid.
Well, Shrek's
I Spy. So that's like a classic. It is a terrible movie. It should be a very bad movie, but every scene with Eddie Murphy in it is hilarious.
Yeah. He just, I mean, Coming to America 2 was okay. It was fine. It was good. But Eddie's kind of on a weird run right now. What Eddie needs to do is go back on tour.
There were some rumors of that.
Yeah, strong rumors.
I don't think he should.
You think it's gonna it's gonna be like Elvis in Vegas in the 70s?
No, I think it's a weird thing with like stand-up comedy, especially with what his comedy was like growing up and just like what his life was. Like when you get to such a big level, you can't relate to that anymore.
Okay, that's a second cousin to that's a second cousin to the band that comes up and they're eating like saltines for dinner and they're and then they've now sold 10 million albums. It's like, what is your struggle, bro?
Right.
What
It's no longer real.
It's no longer real, and you're now going to do all the music you've wanted to do, and sometimes that works, but a lot of times it's like, no, there's just stick to the hits, man.
Yeah.
Just like the Kings should tonight against the Pacers right here on Sactown Sports. Tip off at 7 o'clock. The Grizzle Wolves are playing each other in Minnesota. And then Thunder Jazz.
Thunder Jazz.
The Thunder Jazz.
How about those Jazz? Can they stay hot?
Won 6 in a row.
Yeah.
And they've got themselves we always talk about Oklahoma City. They've got themselves a sneaky good war chest.
Both of those teams. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Those are probably arguably the two best war chests in the NBA.
And if Danny Ainge or Sam Presti is calling, you're like, okay, they want more.
No, I'm not doing it. Exactly. Yeah. From the 530, Jim Carrey is another actor that can turn absolutely any bad script into a great, funny film. Chris, your thoughts?
I agree with that.
Okay. And then a couple comments on Axel F. The great Harold Faltermeyer.
Yes.
With Axel F. We'll take a break. One of the greatest songs to ever be associated with a movie ever. Would you agree?
And yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if it's Mount Rushmore great.
Because Harold Faltermeyer also did Fletch.
Did he really?
Mm-hmm.
Who did the Ferris Bueller song?
Yellow.
Is that really who it was? I feel like that's right. Holy crap, what a pull. That's the second great pull. That and the tip-in for Kings.
Oh, yeah. Damian Jones.
Damian Jones. Yeah. You've had a couple of really good pulls today.
Thank
Go home
you.
and get some pork. Have some pulled pork for dinner. When we come back, crosstalk, Styles, Watkins, next.
The divisional round of the NFL playoffs continues Saturday on Sactown Sports. First, it's the AFC's top seed Baltimore Ravens as they look to back up the league's best record when they host the upstart Houston Texans.
Then the 49ers start their postseason as they host the Green Bay Packers. Texans and Ravens at 1:30, Packers and 49ers at 5:15.
The NFL playoffs right here on your home for Super Bowl 58, Sactown Sports.
At Grainger, we're for the ones who specialize in saving the day and for the ones who've mastered the art of keeping business moving. We offer industrial-grade supplies for every industry with same-day pickup and next-day delivery on most orders, all backed by real people ready to help. So you can get the right answers and products right when you need them. Call quickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wendy's new breakfast 2 for $3 Biggie bundles let you create your own delicious combo. Choose from a sausage biscuit, egg and cheese biscuit, small seasoned potatoes, and a medium hot coffee. But it's obvious which combo's the best. Sausage biscuit and small seasoned potatoes. Well, maybe it's the fresh cracked egg and cheese biscuit with a medium hot coffee. Or 2 savory sausage biscuits. Whichever you pick, you can't go wrong. Choose wisely. Choose Wendy's new 2 for $3 Biggie bundles.
Limited time only. U.S. price and participation may vary. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Beachhead Deli on 711 K Street is now your place to go in downtown Sacramento prior to all the games, concerts, and events. Conveniently located just across the street from the arena, Beachhead Deli features the finest gourmet sandwiches and craft beverages anywhere. Beachhead Deli at 711 K Street is also your premier lunch destination 7 days a week. Come by and say hi to new owner Brad Wakai. He's so excited to take care of all your taste bud needs. That's Beachhead Deli at 711 K Street in Sacramento.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Sacramento will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than freshly baked and home-delivered crumble cookies.
It's time for the news of the day.
The latest headlines, the biggest stories, hard-hitting analysis.
Yeah, this is none of those things. And now, here's Carmichael Dave and Jason Ross.
Hey. All right. How you doing? Right. Helen Styles, also a descriptor. Looking good.
What do you mean?
Styles.
Oh, thank you.
Styles.
Thank you.
Yeah. How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's new.
Not too much sleep last night. You know, baby's schedule's a little off, so just powering through.
Babies are just selfish little bastards, aren't they? When
Yeah.
you really come down to it. Like, I hate babies. I had two, and boy, they sucked until they got older. There's the occasional, like, goo-goo, and they're cute and all, but most of the time, you just clean it up after the goo-goo.
You just decided 4:45.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Selfish.
Yeah.
Not thinking about, oh, well, how are you eating and sleeping, baby, under this roof? Oh, my job, which I have to wake up for, but you want to cry right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
She was wide awake, too.
Really?
It's war. I literally had to make her cry in order to put her back.
I'm sorry.
Well, no, you just hold her. I hold her in an awkward
Upside down
position
or something.
Right.
And then she gets annoyed and cries because she's just chilling.
You hold her
You know, I'm just like, I know you don't like this. You know, get her to cry a little bit. And
driving her around.
Yeah, there you go. I know you don't like that. Give me that pacifier. You don't need it.
Right.
It's too comfortable.
Maybe put some Tabasco on the pacifier.
Because if I don't, if I don't,
right,
then she'll just chill for about. So at this point, it's 4:45. Right. So then, exactly. So it's 4:45. if she hangs out too long, she normally wakes up at 7.
Go right through.
Now we're at an hour,
That's
5:45.
right.
She's crying, and now my morning is just started.
It's over.
So I had no choice. I had to hold her by her leg. Figure it out.
Hold her by the Achilles.
Yeah.
Maybe that's
Can't
how
hold
you
her by
go.
mine.
Yeah. My daughter was a nightmare. My son, though, he would only go to sleep if we had to put him in his car seat and drive around the block. That's the only way he could.
See, she doesn't even do. I have to go on the freeway, and this economy, I can't.
Yeah, you can't.
gas.
No, you gotta get an EV.
Figure it out.
Chris, how are you doing?
Great. My cat woke me up this morning.
Oh,
I
selfish
was.
cat.
I just did it.
Yeah, just get going. You're gonna get letters.
That's fine.
Don't mess with cats.
Trust me, I'm the one who's been using that relationship.
Yeah. Well, cats. Let's be honest. Cats.
They're pretty great, but they can really.
I got 2, so
they're good for when you feed them. The occasional, I'll let you pet me, and then here's my butthole. That's every cat. Every cat. That's what they do. I'm done with you. Here's my beehole. That's it. Can't
speak from experience.
Trust me. Yeah, I had to get 2 cats. My daughter wanted 2 cats, who are now my neighbor's cats. That's a whole different story. Today's National Michigan Day. Anyone been to Michigan?
Nope. No blue.
Anything good to say about it?
Nope.
Any personal experiences?
Detroit.
There's a lake, isn't it? What? There's a lake there.
I guess I've been.
1 or 2.
Cold.
Today is National Peking Duck Day. Anyone ever Peking duck?
Yeah. No.
I can't do duck, man. I can't do chicken type things that are red. Like Peking duck, you know what I'm saying? It's a bird, but it's like it looks like it's medium rare when you eat it. I just, why? And then you're paying more. Why not just get the chicken? Right? Or the turkey? Did you eat Peking duck and go, oh, this is amazing?
I did. When I was in Manchester last.
You were in Manchester, you had Peking duck?
Oh, they have an amazing Chinatown.
And finally, it's National Winnie the Pooh.
Honey doesn't wear pants.
Exactly.
Also now a serial killer.
That is true.
Was that movie good?
I didn't see
There's
it.
no way.
Hey, Winnie the Pooh's killing people?
Yeah, they made a horror because it's in public domain now. So they made a horror movie about Winnie the Pooh.
Did they seriously?
Yeah, so Christopher Robin grew up and kind of just left him alone.
And he went for it?
Yeah.
Dude, was he like a honey addict?
That would be
Oh my
great.
God, that'd be amazing. He's like struggling, just going around.
Cocaine.
Right?
Yeah.
Right, it's Honey Bear. Let's go, Piglet. We got work to do. On it.
Yeah. Please, man. Please, I need some honey.
Eeyore's the guy in the chop shop that disposes of all. Kid. I think Eeyore and stuff love his same guy.
Yeah. Wasn't sure where you're going with that one.
Jesus Christ. That's rough even for me. Good show. Celebrity birthdays brought to you by Crumble Cookie.
You can do it.
Birthdays are meant to be spent with family and friends, and nothing brings family and friends together better than Crumble Cookies. Maybe we'll get some free Crumble Cookies tonight, Joe.
Oh, free throws? Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Start down the king side.
That honestly, I'd be all for that. Let's just embarrass them into making their free throws. I've asked this question before, but do the home fans cheer if there's a king that's missed the first free throw? Yeah, I think so. What about if it's like you got to make the free throw to go to overtime? You still getting a decent amount of fans cheering for him to miss his free cookie? No, I'll bet you there's like 10.
Because if you think about it, they've already gotten their cookie by the time it gets there.
Yeah, that's a great point. Honestly, it should be make 2 free throws for the king.
Oh yeah,
you'd never have to pay up.
That's a great idea.
That's a fantastic
I've
idea.
heard that.
That's
Thank you.
crazy.
You know what you should do? Have they make 2 in a row?
Yeah.
You get free Crumble Cookie.
Oh, that's a really good idea too.
Why did you think of that, Brett?
I
Come on, dude.
don't know.
Stole from me, stole twice. Jason, celebrity.
Happy birthday to Kevin.
Garnett.
Bacon.
Costner.
Yeah.
I'm changing mine to Costner.
That is the correct answer.
Costner?
Kevin Costner.
Thank
Elvis. Kevin Costner.
First off, Kevin Costner, greatest sports actor of all time. Is there anyone else that
Draft
would?
day.
No, Jason.
He almost. The rumor has it that he almost ruined Cal Ripken's streak.
Yeah, that is 100. But that whole thing, that is a great rabbit hole. go down if you ever.
Because every time it's like, oh, this can't be possible. It's like, maybe.
Yeah. Costner's 66 today. He's actually older than a lot of people think.
Even older than you think. 70.
Wow. Also,
68.
John Dutton on yellow.
69.
We have a correct answer, and it is Christopher Lodge, 69.
Nice.
Yeah. Happy birthday, Jason
Ross.
Aldi.
It is my
Voorhees. Jason, hold on. Jason
Biggs.
Jennifer Jason Lee.
Jason Biggs.
We still don't have it.
Jason, hold on. We can get this. How many Jasons are there?
Someone say Statham already?
Yeah. Not a lot. Jasons generally don't amount to anything.
Jason Mraz.
Jason. Okay, who is?
Actor, comedy, TV,
Oh,
and movie.
it was he in American Pie?
No,
They
that's what I
already
said.
You said Jason Biggs.
Oh, you did?
Many
Oh,
times.
okay, all right. Jason. He was in Facts of Life. Or what?
I Love You, Man.
Jason.
Saving
Private Ryan?
No.
Saving Silverman?
Sarah Marshall.
Saving Sarah Marshall?
Yeah, I'm looking at
Forgetting
his face.
Sarah Marshall.
Jason,
Jason Segel.
Yes, Jason Segel. We got that.
Jason Livingston Segel.
How old is Jason Livingston Segel?
Older than you think as well. He's 49.
I'm going to say 48. No way he's that old.
49, 48, 47.
45.
Christopher Lodge for the win, 43.
Sorry.
Jeez. Gosh, he's young.
Happy birthday, Leonard Skinner.
Leonard.
Fournette.
Leonard Fournette is correct.
Leonard.
Just got released.
Yesterday.
Happy birthday.
Does he get a ring if they win?
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
so.
good. Go to another team so you have more chance.
Yeah.
Playoff Lenny.
Leonard Fournette is 31.
He's got to be 30. Well, no, because he was still playing. That's actually pretty good, though. 30.
29.
Maybe.
32.
So what?
29.
Yeah, 32. Okay. Oh, we have a correct answer. It is 29.
Wow.
Remember when Leonard Fournette was like the hype?
Yeah.
He was like Jadeveon Clowney level hype.
Remember Trent Richardson?
How about Pep Guardiola?
I already know this.
Jeez.
He's
He's eternal.
61.
Pep is 56.
Yeah, he's 59.
He's 53, guys.
He is exactly 50.
Nobody cares.
Is Pep short for Pepper? No, it's short for Joseph. Josep. How you get Pep out of
Did
that?
you see what Little Dicky's releasing an album tonight?
No. I'll have to.
Probably.
Then why did you bring it up?
All right. Can we even say his name on
Friendly
the air?
banter.
What's coming up today?
Brad Graham, one of the biggest San Francisco 49ers YouTube right now.
Oh.
He is joining us for 2 segments. So we'll talk a bunch of Niners, a lot of Niners talk today. And Haliburton, questionable. Is he playing mind games with the Kings? Mind games.
I was watching this coming up and Sactown.
The Kings return home Thursday night to G1C as Domantas Sabonis faces his